Hello, Internet, and thank you very much for tuning to the Cloud Native FM and Cloud Therapist YouTube channel. So I have my friend Richard with me, and we are covering KubeCon live once more time. And there are hopefully some guests participating from Salt Lake. So you will be hang out with us. With Richard, over to you. How was the
Hey,
day one of the KubeCon?
I'm good. I was enjoying the intro music there for a minute. I was just kind of swinging away with the music. Yeah, I'm good. Looking forward to day two. We had a fantastic day yesterday. We had actually some extra people drop in, which was really good. I think I really enjoyed having conversations with everybody. So that was fantastic. Yeah, good update from Bill Mulligan from iSurveillance. So that was kind of all the Cilium stuff and eBPF and so on. And he kind of gave us a bit of a view of what's been happening sort of on sort of the first day that he was there when everything kicked off. And then we had Abby as well. She was what was the name of the company again? I can't remember the.
It's, I think she's from Sintasso and also
Sintasa. That's the one. Yes, yes, perfect. And she was really fantastic. I think we picked up a lot on platform engineering, some of the sort of advantages of that, and the sort of the challenges and things like that. So that was really good as well. Yeah, so I think it was good day yesterday. Event wise, I think there was lots of different types of talks that we picked up, and I actually had a look at the agenda before and after as well. So there was so much stuff going on around, again, platform engineering, WebAssembly, Kubernetes, of course, and just kind of Linux, general sort of Linux stuff as well. I picked up quite a few on that, and again, sort of observability. Really, all the usual suspects were basically there. All the usual topics were actually there, which was great. So yeah, really good start, and I'm looking forward to today because we have even more people coming on today. So it's going to be even better, and lots of special guests as well, which is good.
absolutely. And speaking of the covering of some topic there are something so much going on. I
Mm,
believe the big thing I've seen that the CERT Manager is a cloud native computing foundation project is now being graduated. For
mm,
those people who are unaware of the ladder in the CNCF, you make when you actually in a position where you think your ideas become an open source project,
yeah.
you need 350 stars for giving them as a sandbox project to the CNCF. And then eventually your project becomes popular and the companies and the vendors are start using it for the production environment.
Mm,
That's where we are going into the incubation ladder. And eventually when you see there's a lot movement going on and all the checks are passed in the CNCF, and then you eventually becomes a part of the another tier that's called graduated tier. So the CERT manager is now another CNCF graduated project. So I have been using it for a very long time in some of my products and stuff as well. And also I think it's is essential component in our cluster API based Kubernetes platform. So I think people who have been using it, they're
mm.
already aware of it. And now we're looking forward to see what is this project is actually going forward to. And
Okay.
also speaking of the graduation news, I'm also speaking of the graduation news is that Dapper distributed application runtime. Oh my God, this is
Mm,
one of the most challenging abbreviation. So it took me my time to think about. So the Dapper is now CNCF graduated project as well,
yeah.
and I think it's from the Microsoft, and
Hey,
it's
yeah.
doing some event based tuning for your applications as well. So that's great. Another
Very good.
project. And also there is more news around projects is now going into the incubation. One is called Wasm Cloud. So if you
Yes.
want to run WASM based application on edge devices, cloud, Kubernetes, data centers, there's some tough routine into this one. So
Yeah.
WASM Cloud is a way to unify all these things. So this project is being incubated for that for near future. So Richard, these are the big news. If I
Indeed.
want you to three of all from three from this list, which one is your favorite one?
I think because I've suddenly sort of picked up a little obsession around WebAssembly, so I'll have to go for WASM Cloud. I think that's the one I'm excited about, and I can't wait to sort of get a little bit more information on it. I've actually done a talk with somebody recently around sort of WebAssembly, so it's kind of an intro to what is WebAssembly and kind of how to use it and use cases and how to kind of play with it and stuff like that. So hopefully that's coming out on my Cloud Therapist channel fairly soon. But yeah, definitely WASM Cloud is the one for me. I don't know enough about it yet, and that's kind of really the exciting bits, kind of learning a little bit more about these projects. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Absolutely. And also, I think one other thing I try to cover with because usually when the KubeCon, there's a lot of new courses coming out from the CNCF and Linux
All right.
Foundation
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And open telemetry is one of the topic that is, I think when I look at the CNCF project adoption, and they also release every year, they release a project velocity. When from my mutual consensus, my brain tells me Kubernetes is the most adopted project from the CNCF. But when I look at the data, I'm surprises all the time that it's not Kubernetes, but it's open telemetry. And that
Okay.
surprises me for a very long time that
Yeah.
this is the number one most adopted project from the CNCF. And it's quite natural to sense it because in our applications, we need to instrument so many because we actually want to observe data from the cluster, from
Yeah.
the container, from the app. And OpenTelemetry is standardizing the instrumentation of the application. So you have a one unified language to convert the data and then add them to the Prometheus and Grafana for your observability need as well.
Yeah.
So I believe OpenTelemetry, if not today, is quickly becoming the standard for instrumentation application for observability and is simplifying the process of capturing metrics, logs, and traces across distributed system. So what
Yes.
happened is today, I think 2 hours before, uh, they actually announced a new course in the Linux Foundation for
Okay.
getting started with open telemetry. And I will encourage folks, and I'm sharing the link in the screen in a moment now, so the people can actually see and also go and actually start learning about it if that becomes prominent to the people as well.
Okay.
So Richard, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I was just one thing I was going to say. So I'll come back to that. Let me give you anecdotal point though first. So do you know how I remember metrics, logs, and traces? The only way I can
Yes.
remember it is if I put it in an acronym, and the acronym I use is MELT. So I
Oh
say,
my God.
so I actually add events to that. So I say metrics, events, logs, and traces. And that's the only way I can
Oh,
remember all of those, because otherwise I'm going, logs and traces. I can't remember the other one. So if I remember melt, then I can remember metrics, events, logs, and traces. So that's my tip. If you
that
want to remember all of those, just remember melt. That's how it works for
that
me.
that's a super way to actually sense and memorize this thing as well.
Yeah,
So
indeed.
melt,
Yeah,
matrix,
melt.
events, log, and tracing. That's
That's
super
the
one.
one.
I think this is a new thing I learned from Richard today. And Richard, what is your key take on? Because this surprises me a lot for the open telemetry,
I'm to be
because I
honest
never
with you.
thought.
Yeah, yeah, I'm surprised as well. I mean, I'd have again, just like you say, that Kubernetes would be kind of the top of that list. But having said that, though, I have been chasing for a while. It's actually well over a year, and since I kind of really picked up on open telemetry sort of coming on the scene, I had been asking and talking to a lot of this sort of standard vendors in the observability space, so the Dynatraces and Datadogs and what have you of that sort of space. Whether they're kind of how are they sort of implementing open telemetry? Is open telemetry going to be part of their sort of observability engine or not. So again, and I've not really necessarily had a good answer to that, but I know the likes of Dynatrace, for example, have either been looking at implementing or have actually implemented it as part of their platform. So that's interesting. But I would definitely want to see that, because it kind of brings in a sort of a standardization layer, if you like, into that space. And I'm all for sort of things being standard, so we can kind of API into those a lot more easily if that's what we want to do.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So I think folks who are listening to us, open telemetry is a big thing, is a huge
Definitely.
thing for us. Because
Yeah.
I think the problem is that when I started learning Kubernetes, the problem I see is that, yes, you install the application and configure it and run it using Kubernetes cluster.
Mm.
But the day two problems are very sophisticated. Now, in day two, I want to know how my application is performing in a cluster.
Yeah.
What is the status of the container? What is the status of the node? Node give me another format where I can see the logs and tracing and the metrics. And also application have their own way of pushing the information the way it's supposed to tell me. So I
Mm.
have 3 4 different ways of congested the information, and I do not know how to actually summarize all the information in a format that can be easily translated to to Grafana and Prometheus.
Right.
That's a problem. And I think the great folks from a lot of the rest of the CNCF and the Linux Foundation and other people joins in, and they see there's a huge problem, and they come up with some sort of standard. And open telemetry is one of the project that actually give you the sense of all these information,
Mm.
and then you end up not fighting with the formatting, but actually getting in a one unified language and then translating it into the dashboard another way. So I believe KubeCon, if you go into the KubeCon, you will see 2 rooms book all the time. One is around Cilium and one is open telemetry. So these
Yeah.
are the 2 big spaces as well. And also, I think Argo CD as well from the community is does. But another good thing is that the platform engineering day, uh, platform engineering days also have a very packed room yesterday, so that's a good thing as well. And speaking of Richard, I'm talking to some of my guests as well, so I'm checking
Mm-hmm.
if they want to join us as well. So there are some messages appearing on my screen, so I need to hand over to you to chat about, so I can actually talk with them and bring them on the show as well.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. I mean, one of the things that, like I said, I was kind of looking at is the usage of open telemetry. So that was really interesting. I actually did a search on that in the agenda of the conference, and yeah, there's lots of actually talks around sort of open telemetry. There's some folks from Dynatrace, folks from PerfPod, and various other ones, Splunk as well, and lots of other ones actually having all conversation service now, and so on, all having conversation. Microsoft, again. So lots of speakers and presenters. So do check out probably have a look at the agenda for the conference and then see what's happening in the open telemetry space. I can see even a person from Apple actually in there as well, so that's interesting, and Elastic as well. So lots of people there. Now, I just kind of wanted to go through maybe the agenda a little bit more detail. Although I'll probably review a little bit more of that with Sam later. But it just seems to be a Wednesday. Is kind of a kickoff day for lots of different types of talks. There was a whole bunch of keynotes this morning as well. So Priyanka Sharma, who's the executive director for CNCF, I think she did her keynote today. Interestingly, there were some sponsored keynotes as well. So I actually didn't know this was the case, that there was going to be, people can actually sponsor keynotes. It's a very interesting point in regards to that. But yeah, there was other keynotes included multi-cluster batch jobs dispatching from CERN. So that must have been really interesting and detailed. Open source powered cloud native creates the future. That's another presentation from Dirk Peter van Leeuwen, who's the CEO at SUSE, I believe. Another keynote, take a peek under the hood of cloud native AI at scale. Okay, that would have been a really interesting one to look at from the CTO at CoreWeave. So that would have been quite cool, and actually some other people, VPs and engineers as well in that. What else we got here? Oracle's presenting something. Let's have a look. So sponsored keynote, build intelligent applications with an open, flexible, and data-driven AI platform. So obviously AI, again, in the middle of all the conversation, and generative AI and AI in general. So let's see who that is from. Yes, that's from the Senior VP of Oracle Cloud Development Platform at Oracle. So that's another sponsored keynote. Then another keynote from Paving the Way for AI Through Platform Engineering. Wow. Okay, that would have been interesting. That's from Lunar, staff platform engineer from Lunar, Casper Borg Nissen from Lunar. More keynotes. So this is a sponsored one as well. The future of Gen AI, cloud native blueprints for OPEA from Shirley Bayliss, Director of Software Ecosystem Strategy at Intel. Okay.
Oh,
And then we got one keynote from NVIDIA. Of course, all of a sudden, NVIDIA is on everybody's tongue, everybody's lips, and they're doing
absolutely.
keynotes everywhere. So this is the many facets of building and delivering AI in cloud native ecosystems. And then the last keynote is engineering the future of Gen AI platforms on Kubernetes. Okay, that would have been actually interesting one, and that looks like a customer, Capital One or a normal enterprise from Aparna Sinha, who's the SVP of Head of AI Product at Capital One. So yes, that's all the
Yes.
keynotes. Interesting ones there, I think. Lots of
Awesome.
AI stuff
So
again.
sorry to interrupt you, Richard, but
That's right.
we will give you some updates. So within a 10 minute, we are having a guest appearing us from Salt Lake Live and telling us what's going on in there.
Fantastic.
So within the next few years. So, and he's been telling us that he's joining from where the lightning talk happening at the
Oh,
KubeCon. So we might
okay.
be able to listen few of the talk as well. So
Yeah,
within the
because
next 10
there is
minutes.
lots of lightning talks, right, all around going on all the time.
Yes.
So
I think
um,
like Richard, me and you will definitely try for the lightning talk in the
mm,
KubeCon London. What's your thoughts on
yes,
this?
yeah, I don't mind that. I mean, I think that'll be good. We kind of want to maybe just pick on one topic and just run through that very quickly. And there's lots of ones we
Absolutely.
can actually do. There's lots of controversial ones or something. Maybe kind of want to be a little bit more controversial with the topic. Just kind of drop an idea into people's minds. I think that's always a good thing. And I think it's doing. I mean, I've done that in the past. I think I did one actually at a OpenStack Summit many years ago, lightning talk. Um, and it's always good because it kind of makes you focus on the points that you want to sort of put out to the audience. So kind of allows you to kind of really focus on that and make sure you're only saying the important things and not kind of anything peripheral. So you have to go through what you do a number of times. You kind of write it and then you go and revise it again until it's kind of down to the 5 minutes or 60 seconds or whatever it is you have in the lightning talk.
Absolutely. And also, like, I think one other question I need to ask you because you have been actually attended few of the KubeCon as well.
Mm.
So, which one of the company you know has the best booth at the KubeCon, and you like the all the clumsy and all the styling of the Cube booth is. So
Yeah.
if I ask you to pick one of the booth, which one is?
Oh, that'd be really hard. I think there's probably kind of, if we had to say best stand or best booth as in the sort of American style, would say I'd have to kind of have different categories. So maybe kind of the biggest best stand, and then the most crowded sort of best stand, and maybe have one which is kind of the best design, the best designed stand or something like that, and maybe one who's got the best merch as well. Get all the best freebies as well. So I don't know, but I think that it will be those categories. I can't really sort of necessarily pick on one. Although I did pick on one. It was a relatively small one. I think it was in Valencia, the KubeCon Valencia, which was a small company called Firefly. I think they're called Firefly,
Oh,
and I think what they do is, if you've already built a sort of a cloud environment in a public cloud, they'll essentially reverse engineer the the environment for you in an automation script. So they'll actually kind of look at what you already have, and then if that wasn't done with automation tools like Terraform or something like that, then they will actually reverse engineer that for you. So I think that was kind of a unique, technology in terms of how they do things, and it's all in that sort of, cloud infrastructure as code space and cloud sort of resource management and things like that in the cloud. So I think that's probably a good one. I'll see if I can find the link to the company. Hopefully they're still around. It was a couple of
yes,
years ago
absolutely.
when I saw them, but that was
I
that
think
was an interesting one because there was lots of people there, and it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't a big stand. It wasn't a big booth, but it was just interesting that they were doing that sort of stuff. So I found their solution interesting.
yes, absolutely. I think one of the I think I remember which KubeCon is it, but one KubeCon in particular, I have a Mercedes car in there. Mercedes car, I believe. I
Oh,
don't know
okay.
which company. Yeah, yes, I think it might be in not Paris, but the other. I think it's KubeCon Amsterdam or Valence. KubeCon Amsterdam, I believe. They come up with the Mercedes car. I
Yeah,
see a company's booth and now the Mercedes van, and everybody actually interviewing that from the van as well.
yeah.
And I think usually what I see is uh, there's a company called Commodore.
Oh,
They
yes,
have a
Commodore.
very wonderful booth.
Yeah.
Yes, they come up with a great booth styling. I think last time they did a Captain America style booth,
All right.
and yes, and I think even in terms of booth, one of the most spectacular booth in terms of decoration is from the
Yeah.
Google Cloud platform. They have
Okay.
a very resonating booth at the KubeCon. If you look at it, you feel like you are in the Oscar, not in the KubeCon.
Right.
So they
Okay.
have a very great booth as well. And also, I think I do call out where
Yeah.
one of our guest previous companies are is Trivi from Aqua Security. They
Oh,
have a
yeah. Yeah.
tool called
Yeah.
Trivi, and
Yeah.
the Aqua Security also have some great booth as well.
Yeah.
But as of today, I'm seeing people are posting on the internet. So the Cilium has some great booth.
Ah, okay.
Sovereign has some great booth
Surveillance. Yeah.
actually. Cilium
Okay.
is a
Okay. Interesting. So
so they have a very good booth as well.
anecdotally, again, I was actually having a conversation with a lady from Commodore recently, Jax Power, I think her name. Sorry if I'm butchering the surname there, but she's from Commodore. And funnily enough, when I was at AWS Summit in London, I think it was last year or the year before, and I was just walking around, and somebody from the Commodore booth came up to me and said, "You're the guy on YouTube. You're the cloud therapist." So they actually recognized me as the cloud therapist, which was quite cool. So I actually stopped by the stand and was talking to them for a while about all of that, which was quite quite interesting. Where it was like he just kind of, I was just walking around all the showcase area, and he just came up. He said, "You're the cloud therapist. I recognize you." So I was like, "I hope you subscribe to my channel." So yeah, that was quite cool. And that was that was a couple of guys from Commodore. So yeah, and they do Commodore does I think it's a Kubernetes distribution, isn't it? They have their own platform for that as well. So
Absolutely, absolutely. I think they have some companies who actually have some very dedicated team for prepping up the booth as well. But I
yeah,
do call out. I think the one thing I will be actually adding in the screen shortly in a few minutes. I know there's one friend of ours from the Argo CD. He decorated his full van, or what do I call it? He decorated his full van and everything for Argo logo. That's very cool to see. So I will be in a few minutes adding them with the
yeah,
screen. So that's everybody's talking about. So he actually drive through a car having Argo CD logos in there as well. So I'm thinking, why not I can add something like that into my car in
yeah.
the near future as well. So that's a very cool. That's a very new thing I've actually seen in
That is
the
cool. That is
thing.
cool. Yeah, that is
So
cool.
speaking of all these KubeCon, so Richard, before there's our next guest arriving,
Yeah.
what is the most rewarded or most beautiful swag you have get from the KubeCon?
Oh, I think it was again in Valencia, and I got a really cool bag from AWS. So it was um, a backpack or a rucksack kind of bag. So you could put your computer in there and whatever. And so you could kind of just use it for everyday stuff. So that was, I think, the best. And they were just giving those away. You didn't have to. They didn't have to scan your badge or anything. It's just AWS was just giving it away. And I was talking to somebody that I know at AWS at their stand, and then the marketing team just grabbed all of these bags and then started giving them out. And then the person I was with actually grabbed one and offered it to me. So yeah, that's probably the best sort of swag that I've had um, from KubeCon. I think I ended up giving it to my son because he needed his school bag broke or something, or he needed a sports bag or something. So I ended up giving it to him. I have no idea what happened to it. Disappeared somewhere. But yeah, that was probably the best one I've had.
Yes, absolutely. I think let me actually. I think this is a very good thing. I'm actually sharing something on the screen in a few
Mm.
minutes. I would love to see people see what, and I will see like is Richard is up for this thing in the KubeCon London as well. So having a
Mhm.
decorated, I think this is the best open source promotion for any project. Let me.
Okay, so at 12 o'clock today, I noticed they had a Peta Pup sponsored by Cenotype session. So it says, "Come meet some of Utah's cutest and most lovable therapy dogs." So that was interesting. All right, yeah, that looks cool.
Oh my God, Richard, what's your thoughts on this one? Can we
Yeah,
do the same thing in the KubeCon London?
I'm not sure where you
I
can
think we.
park that. It looks really big.
Yes, if we can use a
There's
smaller
no
version of where.
unless you put it in a car park. There's no car parking on the street in London's Excel area. So
Oh yes, absolutely.
the Excel
But
is
this is very.
the Exhibition Centre London. They call it Excel for short,
Yes.
but it stands for
This is
Exhibition
from
Centre.
Dan Garfield. And Dan Garfield is a, I think his company is now being in acquisited into the Octopus Reply. So
Ah,
Octopus Reply and the company is the CEO of the Core Fresh team previously. So these are the very good maintainer, and they came up with this idea. So
okay,
that's quite
interesting.
interesting.
Yeah,
We'll
that is
see.
quite cool. We'll see what they come up with in London. I think.
hopefully our guest is coming in a few minutes.
Okay.
And he will be walking us through what's happening today. So
Yeah. So,
we
so
have to bear
KubeCon
with him.
in London is going to be at the Excel Centre. Excel is the
Oh,
exhibition centre, London. So Excel is the kind of the name for that. Now, normally that is a long corridor. So you come in from two sides. You can come in on the train or the tube or the Docklands Light Railway, the DLR as it's called, because it's in the East London part of this city. And then it's a massive long corridor, and you've got shops and bars and whatever, and mainly sort of cafes and things on either side. But then you get to the exhibition areas, and there are multiple halls, and each one is quite big, quite gigantic. And I expect that they're probably going to use all of them, if not maybe most of those halls. Because I think in order to accommodate the number of people, and there'll be probably lots of local people who will want to turn up as well from the UK. I think you're going to have quite a lot of people turning up. So
I think, well, yes, absolutely. I think one other thing I learned yesterday is that in a KubeCon London, they're having 2 tracks for Platform Engineering Day. So that's a big thing. So they're
wow,
realizing that platform engineering need another bigger conversation. So right now in this KubeCon, there's only one track, one room dedicated for
yeah,
everything in the platform engineering. And we know
yeah,
platform engineering, not even a planet, not even a star, not even a galaxy, not even a universe. It's a multiverse.
it's a
So that's
multiverse.
definitely,
Yeah,
yeah, so that's definitely need some more
yeah.
opinions to that as well.
Also, I mean,
And
just
Colin,
doing a search, I can see that. Yeah.
and finally, Colin is joining us from KubeCon. Oh, great. Colin, how are you? Can you hear us?
I can hear you guys great. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely,
All good.
perfectly
Yeah.
fine.
I
Absolutely.
hope you have noise
Colin,
canceling.
yes, 100%. That's thank you very much for doing that for us. The Colin, I know you, and might be our audience is relatively new to you. So I know you for a very long time. Even you invited on my this same YouTube channel for the panel talk. So, but I want you to give us a quick recap of some intro of yourself because you have been doing some incredible
Sure.
work in the platform engineering space.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's good to be on here. This is actually kind of fun. So I'm gonna do a little hit the streets from the vendor floor vibe today with you. But hey everybody, I'm Colin Griffin. I'm a founder of a company called Crumware. I've been doing cloud native software development for about 10 years. We're here at KubeCon. I'm representing the platforms working group. So I'm a co-chair of the CNCF platforms working group along with Atul and Abby Bangzer. So thanks for having us, man.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for joining us. Richard, your turn for asking some questions and some
Yes,
fireside chat with
absolutely.
our
So,
guest.
Colin, before I ask you any hard questions, can you give us a little pan of the showcase area? Just
Yeah,
have a
let's
quick
do it. So this, well, I'm over, I guess, to one end over here. I'm gonna
Yeah.
make my way over to what I think is the coolest exhibit. Um,
Okay.
we're split into 2 separate areas. We got this like primary vendor area here for the big guys,
Yeah.
the folks that have a lot of money, I guess. And then I'm gonna make my way over to the smaller projects,
Yeah.
the newcomers, and the working group projects as well, the tag projects. So I'm just gonna to saunter on through.
Cool. Okay. So, Colin, what's kind of the latest that you've been hearing from in this sort of platform engineering space? What are people kind of talking about at the
Sure.
conference?
Yeah, a lot of people are still getting started with platform engineering. Last year we had a ton of interest, and there was a lot of debate around, what's the definition of platform engineering? What does it mean? This year, it seems like we're talking to a lot of folks that say, "Hey, I'm a platform engineer. It's my first time in this role. What did I get hired for?" Right? How do I build my team? How do I get started? And am I doing things right? And so it's been interesting to see that it's obvious that companies know that this is a really important initiative. The productization of your internal IT strategy. For me, it's mostly important because it's a way that we can tie back the ability to support our internal teams, as well as our customers and our service providers and vendors, whether they're internal and external, and bring that all together and put some customer service around it, focus on developer experience. We've been talking a lot of these concepts for a long time with no real way to make them seem valuable and important. And I think platform engineering is that traction. I think it is that glue to bring all that together. So a lot of interest in that. Companies are asking more about how do I advance my maturity as opposed to what is this thing? And that's really exciting.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, I appreciate you kind of saying that it's a sort of a maturity approach. So we've kind of people have been doing sort of the more traditional or classic DevOps, if you like, and now we're kind of trying to turn that into into platform engineering. I was actually at a SRE event in London, and then somebody was presenting, and the first slide they put up and said DevOps is not dead. So
yeah,
we're still around, but we're just kind of trying to sort of they looked at platform engineering as an evolution, which is which I think is and most people agree with that, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Where do those DevOps guys go to for help? Right. They need some support too. So DevOps is still an absolutely important practice, but there are additional layers to it. So how do we get them the support they need? And hopefully this doesn't, we don't layer and layer and layer and layer. But it's, I think we need that pathway to tie delivery of business value, which is like shipping applications, getting users on board, doing all those things, back to, I need my apps to get somewhere faster. There are these bridges to build. And so it's great to see. I don't see the booth anywhere this year that says DevOps is dead, like there was in KubeCon in Detroit, right?
All right.
So I think we are acknowledging that role is still very much important, and that it's a little different than platform engineering. Ooh, we got a big crowd over here. I have no idea what that's for, but they're popular.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that is quite big. So one of the things I picked up on with Abby yesterday, we were talking about, as you said, kind of bringing that sort of value, adding sort of with platform engineering, sort of adding that sort of standardization, if you like, into what we've kind of already been doing. So do you agree with that? Are you kind of seeing that as one of the kind of success factors for platform engineering?
I am, but I think too, the success factor, the primary success factor, and we did a panel with Cartographos this morning. That's the cloud native maturity model, which most organizations should start with that before they decide that a platform strategy is right for them. But the big trend, or the big thing, it's not a trend, right? You need to understand your business before you can develop a platform to automate that, right? And so in order to define what value you're going to extract, you need to understand what your business costs, what your problem areas are, what you're going to automate away or make it more accessible or self-service for people. But we see organizations all the time that they say, oh, I need a platform, just put one in place for me. What's the ROI? Without even having a plan or understanding their own organization. So I think that big trend is people are trying to figure out how to get started. But I think we still need a little bit more work on that day zero or that level zero of maturity. Am I ready to start a platform journey? Which direction should I go? How deep should I go?
Right.
And then, the other side too is the problems at scale that larger and more mature organizations are facing, which may be, do we have one platform? Do we have multiple platforms? Is there one platform to rule them all? Do we over standardize? Do we provide more flexibility? Still a lot of questions to answer there, but we're trying to interview as many companies as we can to get real, actual information about how they're approaching it, so that we can share that knowledge with the rest of the industry.
Yeah. Okay. And what about
Thanks.
Sorry, I was just going to ask one other question for Colin. What about sort of that, as we said, that kind of transition for those teams that have been kind of more around that sort of classical DevOps, now sort of looking at doing platform engineering, or kind of bringing platform engineering more to the forefront in terms of what they're doing.
It's Cameron Cedar. It's awesome. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Cameron. Yeah, he's from ex-SUSE guy. Is he still at SUSE?
No, he's still SUSE. Yeah, he's head of solution architecture.
Yeah, he's one of my
he's a great guy.
I used to be at SUSE.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, one of my ex-colleagues. Cool.
Yeah.
Yes, I was just saying, kind of,
Yep.
how's that sort of working in terms of, those more classical teams and sort of DevOps, and now
Yeah.
looking to adopt, sort of platform engineering practices.
100%. I think one of the key challenges in DevOps, right, is when you position an ops team and you position a dev team and you say, hey, we're going to work together now. It's my job maybe with CI/CD to do that or find some optimization. But the key thing is, you have a responsibility. I have a responsibility. Together, us doing our responsibilities will make things move forward. And companies find I'm not allowed to talk to my ops team. I'm not allowed to talk to my dev team, or the teams will say, I don't want to use their tool, and things like that. And so the earliest and the best way that I think ties back to platform strategy the most meaningful way, and when we think about platform as a product as opposed to just platform, if we have a product, a software product, we're going to provide documentation, customer service pathways, help people understand how to contribute, how to modify. We're going to create APIs, whether they're human APIs or they're traditional programming APIs. But one of the key things is we need to drive adoption, and we need to drive adoption through enabling contribution, because people need to customize and provide feedback and make the platform work for them, or just the software package, right, work for them. And so organizations are realizing, as a part of their platform strategy, I need to provide a way for the developers to, if I don't have the capability and I'm this platform team, how do I let the developers come and build some capabilities for me that they need so that I can take them over? How do I help my internal service providers, maybe that observability team that wants you to use, their big observability tool, but not supply your own? How do we make it easier for them to get their tool in front of other users? How can they build integrations instead of building everything on their own? So those contributor pathways, and a lot of that we can learn from open source, are more and more poignant lately.
Cool. Excellent. Same, over to you.
Absolutely, Colin. Thank you very much, number one, for your preparation for joining the live stream. I love it. I know there's a lot of noise going on, but you really help us out to able to understand so clearly. So that's a one good thing about Colin. He always been a very prepared
I think
person
he's done his
because
steps
we
for the
work with
day as
him.
well.
Yes, absolutely. So we catch a very right person for us who can actually give us a walkthrough. So Colin, just one thing is my request. Is our tag app delivery booth is near you or is it far
Yeah,
away from you?
I'm headed over there right now. So I'm
Oh,
going
thank
through
you.
kind of the end of the row of the smaller booths, all the newcomers, and we're going over to, if I don't walk myself into somebody, we're going over to the platform pavilion. So that's where all the
Oh,
open
great.
source projects are, right? All the CNCF projects, and it is packed right now, which is amazing, right? All these projects need love. So if anybody's watching this but is at KubeCon or is coming later today or wants to be here, go to the project pavilion and give these guys some love. But I think they're in the middle of lightning talks right now. So let's go. I
Yes.
see Humanitech, I think. Let's go see what they're talking about. But I'm getting over there.
Oh, great.
Oh,
So this is basically all the project pavilion for all the CNCF open source project. Because I think one thing I really love about KubeCon is that it's a great educational resource for a lot of the companies and the individual and the contributors alike. Because these project is now not in the GitHub repositories, but this is actually running businesses for a lot of the different industries as well. So that's great to see. Oh my God, my friends. I think Robert is in there, I believe. So it's
there you
okay.
go. Here's
Oh,
a tool.
Atul.
Yeah. He's saying,
Oh my
hey,
God.
yeah,
Hello. Atul, how are you? Great.
everybody. Robert's over there. I don't know how loud I'm being
So this
because of
is
the noise canceling. No, this is great. There's a
awesome.
great
Very
crowd.
great. Great, absolutely.
That's
So I think
wonderful.
we need to give some perspective to the live audience as well because TAG is our technical advisory group in the CNCF, and that is basically
Yep.
working on within the CNCF to make sure every new project or every new specification comes up, this adhere to some best practices as well. And Colin, you definitely need to
Yep.
add this because you have been a part of this team for a very long time.
Right. Yeah, so the tag app delivery, and the way I got started there too is I was on the application deployment side of the house, right? In order to actually be able to deliver our tools, we needed to provide people with the capabilities to provide us with the capabilities to ship those tools. So we got involved with tag app delivery because they were trying to deliver apps. But we've evolved the working group into several different key areas, and it honestly kind of fits the platform engineering domain. But there are challenges around infrastructure and bootstrapping patterns. You know, what kind of questions can we answer there? That's a big thing right now. So the infrastructure group is forming, and Dylan Page, I believe, is one of the creators of that. We have a new app development group as well that's focused on developer tools and IDPs, and kind of tying some of that stuff back. We've got the platforms working group as well, and we've got the artifacts working group. So there's several different groups that anybody can get involved in and go contribute in an area that they have some expertise. And since the groups work closely together, then you can find ways to bridge into those other practice areas as well, as we advise each other and support each other in those groups.
Absolutely, absolutely. And thank you very much for elaborating for all of these things as well. So I think, Colin, if I think this is a project pavilion, can you, if you can look
Sure.
at some of the places where we can go, like Cilium or Argo
Sure.
CD, but I know
I'm
there are
trying
so
to
crowded places in there.
I'm trying to see if I can switch the camera around. There we
No, I
go.
think you don't.
No,
Oh,
I think I
Oh,
can.
it's
There we go.
better.
oh, great.
So
Hey.
Oh,
this is a
that's
little bit.
great. Oh,
This is a little better
yes,
perspective. Yeah,
that's,
sorry. Nobody wants to
yes,
look at
absolutely.
my face the whole time. So there's our
Oh,
tag app
great.
delivery. Another great tool is
That's,
Microx. That's
oh,
related to Postman and API definitions and visualization. Here's environmental sustainability. Yeah, so we see a bunch. One that I'm excited about over here that I'm going to go chat with later is Flatcar. So that's WASM on bare
oh.
metal. Really excited about that. Metal Cubed is also getting a lot of interest and traction here. Are there any that specific you want me to go see? Here's Cilium, right?
Yes, that's brilliant. I think, but I'm actually the part of the parallel open source project for a very long time. I don't know
Awesome.
if they actually having one or not, but it's a good one to go. But these are the Cilium one is a
Longhorn
good
as well.
one. Yes, I think is it a possibility? I think Kratix is not an CNCF project, so I don't believe they have their project pavilion. So
Right.
that's not
They're
but that's
Centasso. Yeah, they're Centasso, and they
yes.
have a booth here, I believe. I'm just not sure what number it is, but
Awesome.
I can go. I
I
can try
think
to
the
find it.
wood. Yes, I think would be a catchier one to spot crossplane as well, because that's where I have a lot of friends in there as well.
Oh yeah, I'll go try to find them. Let's see. We got Kubeflow here. That's the big AI player right now. Let's
Yes,
see. Because Crossplane won't be at Upbound, right? Let's see. There's
yes,
I'm passing
absolutely.
Envoy. We got Knative. Here's Linkerd.
Oh, good.
Deaf and hard of hearing group, which I'll be after all the noise here. We got Open Cost. Let's see. I wonder if we have a map. There's Open Policy Agent, Istio, Cert Manager, Cortex. I've never
They're
heard
good.
of Custodian. I really don't see Crossplane.
I hope
I'm
they have, because they are a very big player in the CNCF. I think there's an incubated project, and sooner they're thinking of graduation as well. So I have my friend there called Victor Farsek. So I'm chatting them
Yeah,
if they
Victor.
is available. Yes,
Let's see.
from DevOps
Wonder.
Toolkit.
Here's if anyone. Do you want to use this QR code and tell me?
Oh my God. Oh my
Okay,
God.
let's try it. Let's try it. Let's see.
Yes. Richard, let's
Hang on,
go try out.
I'm trying. Hang on.
There you go. This is funny. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this. Like, thanks for having me on here. This is great.
No, no, this is great. Like, I think you are absolutely fully prepared, our Gus, for this thing as
Same,
well.
who are we looking for? Same.
It's
For Crossplane.
crossplane.
Crossplane?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh, yes.
CR
Yeah, they're here.
SPLN. So
Today,
what number?
3:15 p.m. till 8 p.m. says.
Okay.
So maybe we're a little early. They've been rotating the
Yes,
booths.
1A. 1A.
Let's
1A.
see. Okay, so
I
one.
wonder, is Victor going to be there? Mr. Farsich, is he going to be there?
Victor's been around. We were with him yesterday.
Ah, it'd be cool. Yeah, it'd be cool to see him.
Yeah. Let's see.
Awesome.
Let's go try to find. What about is there a company booth that he's at that I should try to go attach?
I think might be as the upbound. Might be possibilities, or he's in the upbound, or might be
Yeah.
not there, but
Or
we can
upbound.
check.
Let's see. All right, we need maps. We need more maps. Oh, there's a. Okay, let's go find this. Everyone's getting the full KubeCon experience here. You know, there's
yes.
hundreds of vendors, so we got to go find them. So here's the map. Let's go do this. This is like a safari. Where is Upbound here? Hey, there's your. You're still at Rafay, Sam? I think. So those guys. Do I know my alphabet? Yeah, they are Q6.
You.
So where are we? So Q6. Oh, we're close. Ah, I see him. We got him. All right. I don't see Victor yet, but I'm going to Upbound.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Yeah, put me to work. I'll just give him my headphones and we can do your interviews and all the fun stuff.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh.
So, Richard, we have a very good guest. I think this is Colin is the best person to actually hang out.
Colin's acting as our roving reporter.
Oh yes, this is Upbound.
I'm happy to.
Can you check with them? Oh, great.
Yeah.
Can you check?
Ask for Victor?
Oh, good. Yes. No, I think we can chat with him. Where's Victor?
I'm on KubeCon Live, so they're asking where's Victor.
Oh,
they want to talk to Victor. Yeah, right?
That's always the question. It's like, where's
Probably online doing a podcast.
Probably. Sam, can you tell me, can you hear them when they're talking?
Yes, absolutely. I can hear them.
Online
we
doing
can.
a
He
podcast.
can hear you guys. Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, we can
I
do
have
them.
a feeling you want like for sure to meet him tomorrow. He's guaranteed to be sitting here at 1 p.m.
Awesome. You put that on your schedule, Sam. Yeah, we can come back and get him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there anything you want to ask
Awesome,
the crossplane folks?
Yes,
Just
absolutely.
what
So,
they've been up to. Yeah. What's going on?
So what's going on with Upbound? What have you guys been up to? And they can hear you. I'm sorry you can't hear them.
Yeah, for sure. So we actually just had a big release happen last Thursday. We have a new developer portal that just kind of opened up, so people can, anyone, it's completely free, can go in and try Upbound and start managing control planes. And it's free for everyone. You can go in, learn, get started,
Oh, that's awesome.
and work on it. So
That's really great. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
that's great.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Awesome. Thank you. Let's go find somebody else. This is great. You can also tell me to shut up
Yes,
and kick me off if you want.
I think can we go to the Sovereign booth as well, because one of our guests is coming from there
Yeah.
as well today.
Let's find him. Let's find him. You didn't see him on my camera, did you? Okay. I'm by the way,
Yes.
small plug. I am really, really, really excited about Percona Everest.
Colin,
Really, really cool tool. Yep.
Colin, can I ask you to do me a favor? Can you just go back to the Percona booth for a second?
Yes, absolutely.
And I'm just going to do a screenshot of it because I want to send it to my friend who works for Percona, but she couldn't make it to KubeCon.
Oh, absolutely.
So stand there, show me the booth, and I'm going to do a screenshot.
There you go.
Okay,
Oh,
right
yes.
there. Yeah, that's good.
It's
Right.
KubeCon Live.
Cool.
Yeah, do you have anything you want to tell the people on KubeCon Live?
You guys looking to manage the database on Kubernetes, so Peter's the guy to talk to you about Everest. Totally open source.
There you go.
Swing by our booth.
So they backed up my plug there. We'll have to do a demo later. Thank you guys so much. That was nice. They didn't get too
that's
commercial
great.
on us. That was really nice. Yeah,
Thank you, Colin.
That's good.
That was good fun.
that's great. All right, what was the company before? Can you say the name again?
We're going to the Isovalent booth. I think that would be great.
Isovalent. Yeah, Isovalent.
Yes.
I don't know what the right way is to pronounce it. Let's see.
I also don't know.
GHIJK. I like yours, your version. So E2. So they're a big one. All right. Let's see.
Oh
what are
my
they
God.
near? They're near the Sousa Activation Lounge. All right. E2. All right. We got this. I'll walk fast. I like this view better because then I don't have to look at myself.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
But this is
It will
great.
give
Yeah,
me.
we've had a great time so far. The crowd has been really energetic and really nice. I encourage folks, you should travel to go to KubeCon EU. I think there's just a different energy. It's not a better or worse energy, but definitely attend KubeCon EU and make the trip to London in the spring if you can. It's amazing. I mean, great city, great conference as well. There's just an amazing learning focused culture over in Europe that I just love to be a part of. So let's see here. We got Intel. We got Dynatrace. There's a lot of observability tools here this year. Audio is getting you got a little weird for me there.
Okay.
Just your mic saying.
I'm.
Yeah, I think it's on same side.
Yes, and things. Colin, can you go to the?
Oh, there you
yes,
go.
I think. Good.
Yeah, tell me where do you want me to go?
I think like yes, a sovereign. Can you find them? Yes, I think
That's what I'm looking for.
Yes.
Let's see.
And meanwhile, if you catch during going there GitLab, and then you can.
Okay.
Oh, Aqua is a good one. Can you go to the Aqua one? I think because you're now crossing the Aqua.
Aqua. Okay. Yeah. And we'll just tell me to stop when I'm near somebody, and I'll ask you
Rancher has
some
a very
questions.
wonderful booth. Oh my God.
Well, this is just
what is this thing?
Right. This is the Rivian. So Rivian is a SUSE customer, and so they've got this awesome Rivian truck here, just right up front and center. And this is Jeremy Dingle. There you go, SUSE guy.
God,
yeah, look at this crowd. This is getting a lot of attention here.
Yes,
It's
have a
amazing.
very wonderful booth. Absolutely.
Yeah.
They have a big booth. Oh my God, Rancher. They always.
Well,
I
that's
think
just
Rancher
the
has
car.
always a big booth.
That's just the car. So technically, they have two booths.
Yes.
All right. Back on mission. Here's
Yes,
Dell.
we are mission equivalent.
Isovalent. Here we are. Yes. Here's our Isovalent. Who are we looking for with Isovalent, or do we just want to chat with them?
Yes, I think we are actually hoping to meet today Liz Rice. So
Liz, okay. It's KubeCon Live. Yeah. Do you know is Liz Rice around? Is Liz Rice around? Oh, we're gonna go grab her. Yes. Right. I can try to pass off my headphones. I'm not sure she'll like that. Let me see if I can change over to the speaker. Oh, is that Liz?
Yes.
They're sneaking. She's got to look at this line.
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
Got her online. She's signing.
We're gonna troll. We're trolling Liz. Should I see if she just wants to wave? Let's see. Hold on. Let's change the camera so this isn't as weird. I feel bad. I don't want to interrupt her. We go to settings, camera. Let's go back to this. So this way she can see you. There you go.
Yes.
I hope. I'm just going to see. She's going to be mad at me because she doesn't know me. Just be patient. Just being patient. Liz, Same and KubeCon Live crew wants to say hi. And
Hello,
wave at you. Yeah.
Hey.
Want to say to
Hello,
you? Yeah. So sorry, I don't want to interrupt. Big crowd. This is KubeCon Live. This wave. Yeah.
Hey.
So, we'll bug you later. Thanks, Liz.
Oh, that's great.
I'm reading the room a little bit. There were some angry people in that line. Look at who the hell is this guy? Let's see. Let's switch back.
That's great.
All right.
I think that's a wonderful coverage. Thanks to our great guest. I think one last thing you can do is, if you saw Buoyant Cloud booth, that would be great.
Okay. Let's see. And I had a talk with
people.
Buoyant earlier. Let's see. Well, Linkerd might be different than Buoyant, right? So let's try to. Oh, KubeCon Live. Yeah. This is too fun. I'm gonna get a microphone next time, and you're gonna let me do this again.
Yes, absolutely.
We got
the best person.
Wow, Solo's got a big booth. Holy crap.
Oh, they have a big
Let's see. Yeah, big one over there. We got Azure. I see a coffee lounge sponsored by. I'm looking for Buoyant. Here we go. Look, I stumbled on the map here. Not in the project pavilion. They are going to be. Oh, I don't see them. Do you?
I hope they have a booth. I believe.
I don't know. Let's see. Honestly, I don't think. I'm looking for Linkerd now. Honestly, I don't think they have one. Well, that's a shame.
Oh yeah.
But that's been a little bit of a trend. I think a lot of people are just working the floor this year.
Oh yes, absolutely.
So Linkerd is at 8B. I can check to see if they're still there and make my way back. Is there anybody else in the meantime, since I'm on this end of the big vendor
Yes,
floor?
I think yes, absolutely. We have some good friends from a lot of the different communities as well. I think Solo is a good place to go there as well.
Okay.
Solo is a good place.
Who should we try to grab
here?
here?
To be in there. And we can ask them, oh, they have a very good booth. They actually have a very good booth.
That's
That's
quite big,
great.
yeah.
Who should we ask for?
A very big one. I think we can ask Christian Posta. Is he available?
How do you say his last name again?
Christian Posta.
Christian Poster? Okay.
Yes.
Let's go try. Let's go see.
Oh, they have a good booth. Like they have a very good booth. Oh my God. I would never expected that the Solo had this kind of a booth.
Let's ask. Let's see if we can get somebody. We're looking for Christian Poster. Christian? Yeah, we're on KubeCon Live. Oh, he's good. We'll just creep on him. We'll just creep. All right. They said he's giving a demo right now.
Awesome.
So
awesome.
is that him over here?
No. I think might not be today because he's a CEO of the company as well. Might be busy.
Okay.
But I hope he's there because he's a very popular figure in the industry. But that's incredible, Colin. They have a very big booth. That's a very big booth as well. I think can you go into the? I think right in front of Solo, there's a Google Cloud in there as well. We can possibly go there as well.
Yeah, let's do that.
And meanwhile, Richard, you have some wishes where we could go?
There's the other Sousa booth.
Well, actually, yeah, that's the whole thing. There's Red Hat as well, Google Clouds.
We're giving a demo here.
Yes, I think this is
risk and some permission issues. So you want to be able to correlate those things so that you understand what you do.
Right. A lot of AI focus. But we in the audience know it's about how we can use AI, or it's how we can deliver AI capabilities. Yeah. We all know that. I hope our bosses know that.
Colin, is there anybody who's kind of, with things like Devon being shot down a little bit recently in the, people have kind of been reviewing it.
Also,
so
I think
what's happening in the sort of code gen space?
Sorry, say that again. It broke up a little bit.
Colin, Colin, just to interrupt, can you look at the Fermion booth as well from the Wasm Cloud?
Yeah.
Are they going to be? They're going to be on hopefully the big vendor side. They might not be. Let's go look at the map again. All right.
No, I think they. I hope they are.
I'm going to switch. I keep looking at my own camera. I want to see you guys. There we go. I'm looking. If you see it on my screen and I don't see it, teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yes, absolutely.
See Splunk.
Fermion is at the KubeCon.
Fermion. Q1. Let's see. Q1. So it's Frozen Lakes. They're doing this thing this year where it's they're naming the area. So it's Snowy Mountains, Frozen Lakes. They're in the small ones. Oops, sorry. Go ahead. All right. Okay, I see. I know exactly where to go. Let's do it. We're on the move.
Oh, that's great.
And again, tell me if you see anything. I'm going to take a little bit of a different route. I think we should say hi to Elvis. Elvis is at the Wiz booth.
Yes,
absolutely. It's pretty hysterical, actually.
Oh,
see, I'm gonna switch it back around.
Yes, I think this.
And on our way, we'll just say hi to
Oh,
Elvis.
that's a visit. I think I very good.
All right. Let's see. We'll see. We're gonna creep. We're gonna creep. We're gonna creep. Excuse me, Elvis. We're on KubeCon Live. Wondering if you could say hi.
Hey.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, the Wiz booth is amazing. They're giving away customized sneakers.
Oh wow.
I don't know if you have to sell your soul to the devil for that one or not, but
Sell it all for something, that's for sure.
yeah, my feet are definitely hurting. So
Yes.
maybe I need some. All right, we got Octopus Deploy, Code Fresh. Let's see, we're going by.
Oh, okay. Code Fresh is also
Yeah.
Octopus
We're going by
is also
Intel.
having a very rushy crowd there.
Let's see. I'm just turning the phone around so I don't have to turn the camera around. Making me thirsty with the Ingrok Lounge. We got some podcasts happening.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. They're looking at me like I'm crazy.
Oh my
They're
God,
probably right.
that's a good one. Richard,
You're
we
gonna
need
see somebody you know.
Are these people like gonna go to any talks? Are
London
they
as
just
well,
gonna-
where we have a podcast.
Yeah, we need to
around?
we need to interview some people.
I know. Our sneakers there. Cool.
Cube
Well,
Cost, they've been
can
around.
you stop here? Can you stop here? Akansha is here behind you. Can you move around? Can you go back? Can you move around again? There's a Akansha is here in near you. Yes.
Sorry, say that again.
No,
It's hard to
no.
understand.
Can you back again? Yes, I
Yeah.
think I'm saying my friend Akansha is here as well.
Oh, who's he
think
with?
standing in front of you somewhere. I spotted him.
Which company?
Can you move your camera into the left of yourself?
I'm just gonna keep going until you tell me to stop.
Back.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no, I think we missed.
Did we
I think
miss
we
him?
missed it.
No. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Just yell stop, and I'll stop. Let's see. We got scale ups. Oh, if you can see it, yeah. They ran away from me. They didn't like that very much. Canonical, obviously. Hey, they're doing some like computer vision demos or something.
Okay.
Oh, that's
And
good.
we're almost a Fermion, I promise. Sorry for.
Oh yes.
Maybe next time I'll wear a jogging outfit. Maybe a tank top.
Oh my
We'll
God.
just literally run around.
But you actually having no time figuring out where the Fermion is, because if I'm having the time, it's very difficult to track, even though there are some maps in there. There's so
It
much.
should be.
Oh, Colin.
Oh, it's
Colin.
SpinCube. It's SpinCube. Yes.
Go back.
Yes,
go back to
yes,
those
yes,
guys that are filming. Can you go back to the
Yes.
big lights? Is that Tech
Yes.
Strong?
Yes,
Just
it's
show me-
TechStrong.
Just show me around a little bit. See
Yes.
if I can recognize anybody.
There's Alan.
Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
they're doing an interview.
All right.
These
Okay.
guys.
Okay. All right. Got it. Okay. Thank you.
We'll come. We can come back to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Richard, we need similar in KubeCon London. The
I
crowd
think we're
therapist.
going to hire Colin as our roaming reporter.
Same. I'll be at KubeCon India and KubeCon London. So let's hook it up.
Definitely
Let's hook
see you
it
in
up.
London.
Oh,
Definitely
That'd
see
be
you in
fun.
London.
All right, so
Yes.
we're here at SpinCube.
Okay.
I'm
Can you see
I'm stoked
who's in there?
Yes.
Who is in there? Yeah, can
You
you go
tell
there?
me.
Can you go there?
Yes. Hey, we're with KubeCon Live. There you go.
Hello.
Hey, how
So
you doing?
I wish you could hear them. I'm sorry, they're on the headphones. He's asking, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thanks. How you doing?
Yeah.
I'm great.
Tell us about
I'm great.
Tell us about
Where
the
is-
traction that SpinCube is getting at the conference.
Oh, well, yeah, lots of questions. Lots of people want to see what's going on. We just had a new release, both of Spin 3.0, I think it says 3.0 here.
Yes.
Yep.
And with that, also a new release of SpinCube. I think one of the most interesting features that I played to SpinCube is this selective deployment. You might be able to see that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
If you know a little bit about Spin, you know how you can create these serverless apps and multiple components.
Yep.
What you can do with selective deployments is you can actually deploy a single app and have parts of these components run on one set of node selectors,
Awesome.
another set of components on another, so you can sort of split these out in deployment without your developers having to think about that when they develop.
That's awesome.
So that's a cool thing to check out.
I love that. Thank you so much.
Thank
Is
you.
there anybody here that you want to try to get to?
Yes, I think. Can you ask where's Matt Butcher is today?
Where's Matt Butcher? Oh, there you go. Should we grab him?
Yes.
I don't want to interrupt. Can you interrupt him for me? Okay. There you go. He doesn't know me from Adams, but they're chatting. We'll wait. This is fun. Sorry. Here, I'll turn. Well, no, you can. I'll let him do the selfie. He doesn't look like he wants to be interrupted. It's like, just can someone wave at Matt for me? I really feel bad. We're on KubeCon Live. They just want to chat with him. I don't want to interrupt their conversation. He doesn't know who I am. I'll just wait. Oh.
Yes, we can wait.
And we'll get some B-roll while we wait. Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think is a spin cube and Fermion. Is you are the Fermion booth, or is a spin cube booth?
So it's the Fermion booth, but they are SpinCube, right?
Yes.
So they have branded it. They have branded it for. Sorry, we wanted to KubeCon Live wanted to say hi. That's okay. And I'm sorry, I can tell you what they're saying.
All right.
Do you know Sam and the crew here?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Hello, Matt. How are you doing?
Tell us what's most important to you at this KubeCon.
So I mean, when I was coming into this, so we do WebAssembly, right?
Right.
And so
right.
for us, it's always KubeCon always functions as this like check-in point where we say, you know, we've had our heads sort of down in the code for a long time, and KubeCon is the time when we can kind of look up and out and talk to this, you know, incredibly broad community out there and see what's of concern to people. What are people doing with AI now?
Right.
Learn about what's going on out there, and also see if the stuff that we're building is sort of resonating with the people around us. So it's been fantastic. You know, we went to WasmCon, which was one of the pre-days, and I think the WasmCon numbers doubled between last time and this time.
And it was 2 days.
2 days, yeah. 2 days, and I think close to 600 people there instead of the 200 or 300 from only a few years ago. And that was one of those moments where you come in with one set of expectations that I thought were actually really high. We're going to have a good, and then walk in the room, and I was 2 minutes late and had to stand in the back because it was packed for the opening keynote. And that's just, you know, startup life is full of all these uncertainties and anxieties, and to walk in there and see that was like, oh, this is great. It is so good to see an open source community just kind of flourishing like that and get to connect with all those people. Today, though, as we've gotten started with KubeCon, it has just been a lot of fun to reconnect with a lot of people that I haven't seen. The kind of buzz on the floor is feeling more like, well, and Paris is like this too, right? The buzz on the floor is just very lively and very positive. So it's been a great day too, and I'm really looking forward to the next couple of days.
I was saying the same thing. Do you guys have anything special planned for London as well?
We do have special stuff planned for London, and I can't tell you about it yet, but London is, Europe is really our favorite one.
I said the same thing.
Because Fermion is we started during COVID. So like we have no central offices, and a big chunk of, almost half of Fermion is based out of Europe. And so it is fun for me to get to go. But you know, like Paris was just fantastic because those are people I don't tend to run into at other conferences in the US. So KubeCon is sort of like a locus of social interaction for us, and the KubeCon EU is really more so even than North America.
So do you think we're ready for WASM? It's here.
There you go. Totally here. I mean, in my totally unbiased opinion. No, I mean, and we released Spin 3 at this conference. And we only release major versions when we're pretty sure we can put a stake in the ground and say, you know, this is ready for use. You know, at WasmCon, Amex got up on stage and talked about what they're doing with it. Last KubeCon in Paris, Zeiss Optics got up on stage and talked about what they were doing with it. These are not small companies, right? These are major enterprises who are saying, hey, we're getting value out of this. London, I think, is going to be the time. Right? I think some of the stuff we know is in the works now, when it comes out in London, is going to blow some people's minds. I got a preview of some of this stuff today that's more in the automotive space, and I'm like, okay, there is no experience as an open source developer more delightful than seeing people do stuff with your software that you didn't think could be done. And you know, I built the package manager for Kubernetes. I built Helm, and I built it because I wanted to install my own little thing with it, right? And then I see what people are doing with it now, and you know, doing sophisticated CI pipelines and generating charts dynamically and managing thousands of applications, and it blows my mind because I did not think it could be done when I first started authoring it. And now it's been in the WebAssembly ecosystem, we're starting to see that same kind of thing, where a technology that we looked at and said, you know, here's our little software, you might want to try it, and people are going, we can build this with it, and it just blows my mind.
It's amazing.
Best part of open source.
That's awesome. Well, thanks, Matt. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm saying thank you for Helm as well. Yeah, I'm on the platforms working group, and we're very, very thankful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That means a lot to me.
Thank you guys so much. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
That's a great one. So
That was great. He was nice.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I actually did a 2 podcasts before he actually arriving to the KubeCon on my YouTube channel as well. And one is very interesting where he spoke about how to use WASM with Gen AI, how to use WASM for Gen AI workload as well. So that is quite be really interesting as well. But Richard, do you have any people or any friends in there where we can send Colin Griffin to?
Maybe we can get them to KubeCon if they're around.
I know where they are.
Yeah,
I know where they are.
Because I was interested in kind of that whole, you know, cost optimization, cost management space. That would be really cool.
Perfect scale is a good one too. There's I would love to see more. We were talking earlier, and so just B-roll as I walk over there. We're talking earlier with folks. It's interesting when you see projects like Cube Green and some of the others that are focused on sustainability and all that. In the States, you almost have to have a different marketing message for that, because you need to talk about cost savings and impact in the business, but those projects are meaningful for sustainability too, right? So it's a little different, but it's the same message at the end of the day.
Sorry, Colin, can you just backtrack to ARM? I think you just went past ARM.
Yeah. Where did they go?
Just on your right, I think. Should be on your right now.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to see who's around on the ARM stand.
Okay, sorry, we're gonna switch back so that they can see you if we see them.
Okay, let's have a quick look. See if
I can ask as well.
Oh yeah. Zoom in on that lady there.
It's Cheryl Hung.
Cheryl, yeah. Let's say hello to
You want
Cheryl.
to say hi to Cheryl?
Yeah.
See. I'm sorry, I'm with KubeCon Live. Is it okay if I interrupt y'all? I'm sorry.
Hello,
They wanted to talk to you, Cheryl. Do you know the Salmon Crew? Yeah. I'm sorry. I'll relay. Do you guys have any questions? Sorry.
Yes.
How's it going?
They're saying, how's it going? Tell us about what you're doing with ARM and how everything else is going for you.
It's good. We're having a lot of interesting conversations here. It's nice to see people again. Like, this is very much my community. Like, I love the people here. So it's, I'm having fun.
I like it. What's other than ARM, obviously, what's the most impactful thing you think here at KubeCon so far? What's the hot button?
What's the hot thing?
Yeah, other than AI. Anything but AI.
It's going to be like, it's going to be AI, isn't it?
It's tough.
It's a tough question. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's more like, doing stuff at scale. There's platform engineering method.
Sure.
Like, it's still similar
Sure.
as it was before, but
yeah, I'm not only emceeing, I guess, this today, but I'm the co-chair of the platforms working group. So I'm really happy to hear you talk about platform engineering. What about the play with is ARM watching WASM and trying to align with some of that? Can you tell us anything?
I am watching WASM. Don't think we have anything
formal,
planned, but from a technical point of view, it seems like an obvious thing to me. But we'll
next evolution, I think. Yeah,
I think so too.
definitely. Well, thank you so much, Cheryl. That's great. We'll be back, I'm sure.
See you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
That's great.
There you go.
That's great.
Cool.
I think,
Okay.
can you,
Cool.
if you spotted Kong, I think Kong is also in the.
I did. They're in the big booth. We can hit them and KubeCon on the way.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
That's good.
So you also know Mourinho Vijay as well?
I don't think so. Maybe. It's honestly, I think you're better than me. Yeah.
Platform engineering.
It's so hard to. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see, where am I going? Oh, there's KubeCon. All right.
Oh, yes.
I hope I don't look too lost. Honestly, this is actually a lot of fun. I need to do this all the
Colin,
time.
you will be with us on KubeCon London.
Give me a
And
shirt. Give me a shirt and I'll wear it. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So who are we looking for at KubeCost here? Do you know
Oh,
somebody?
great.
Anybody really? I think
Anybody.
We're
Yeah.
KubeCon live.
What's up?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey,
There you go. So sorry, I wish I had a wide angle. Tell us what's new at KubeCost.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
GPU costs. We got an acquisition with IBM on September 12th, so that's exciting. Turbonomics integration.
Turbonomics. Okay.
wow.
Yeah.
Network costs.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, it's looking good.
Yeah. Tell us your names and a little bit about yourselves.
I'm Mike Murphy, senior TSM at KubeCon. Been there a few years now, and help with onboarding, deployments, driving value, and all that.
Awesome. Thank you. How about you?
Yeah, Jaron Walker. It's my counterpart, my technical counterpart. I deal with all the business. I'm the moral feeding back for the customers. But yeah, been here for 2 years, helping driving value and saving customers a lot of money.
There you go. And KubeCost has the easiest onboarding process. Just go to kubecost.com and hit getting started. We actually used to use it as a tutorial for how to use a Helm chart.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Yeah. There you go.
Colin,
Yeah. They might have questions.
Can you ask them where's Mike Brown?
Where's Mike Brown? They're asking.
Mike Brown. I don't think we have a Mike Brown. No.
No, maybe not. Could be former.
Good. Oh, good. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, Kyle Brown.
Awesome. So, Colin, we have another guest. While you, oh, that's great.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
sure thing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. That's great.
Tell me.
So, great. So now I think, Colin, you will be going into the Kong Inc. And meanwhile, there's another guest up here joining us live from the KubeCon.
Oh, awesome.
So I will be activating them on the screen as well, and he can join us as well. Hello, Mo.
I will
Thank you for
mute in the
joining us.
meantime.
Yes. Mo, Colin is our live reporter from the KubeCon as well. And we're really enjoying all the conversation with him. We are virtually enjoying everything. Tell us a little about yourself as well. And thank you very much for joining. And tell us where you actually are currently.
Yeah. First, mic check. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, perfect. Yes. My name is Mo. I'm a senior site reliability engineer joining you live from Salt Lake City. We're just kind of finishing up lunch here, and I think most folks are going towards the next set of talks. I was actually a presenter yesterday at one of the co-located events at Cilium eBPF Days with my colleague Ray. He's gone off to his session. But yeah, so just kind of excited. This is our third KubeCon in person. We did one virtual, but this one is the first one back since COVID. So it's definitely got a good vibe to it.
Awesome. I think you're wearing the Portworx. Are you working with the Portworx company?
No, this is just the lanyard that they give us. I'm actually a Samsung employee.
Okay. So you work in the Samsung?
Yeah, Samsung ads.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Tell us a little about, because we want to know what's happening in the Samsung. Because me, Colin, Richard, we spend a lot of time with the platform engineering. And I want to know, like, what are the big companies are doing these days with the platform engineering?
Yeah, for sure. We're on in the ad space. So unfortunately, I'm the guy who makes sure that you guys get your ads delivered to your TVs and phones and stuff like that. So apologies for that. But yeah, I mean, it's very much I'm on the platform engineering team. We have a platform for our internal engineers and developers to run the actual platform on. And as well as our own, infrastructure components and stuff like that.
Awesome. So I go back to a live reporter as well. So Colin, you will be assuming to going to the Kong booth as well.
I'm on my way.
Okay, awesome.
See ya.
Meanwhile, if you have question for the Mo as well, because Mo is joining us from the very good company. If you have any question for Mo for us today.
Yeah, Mo, where are you located? Where are you hiding out?
I'm actually just on the other side of the vendor area, just in a little, by Coat Check, just around the corner from Coat Check.
Gotcha. So Oh, I bet.
quiet place.
Are you under the awning? This would be fun. I wonder if we can get picture in picture.
Yeah.
So I'm Kong is right next to you. But we're passing Kong, but I want to find Mo because that would be fun.
Awesome.
I'm
There's
outside,
Cameron.
outside
There's
the
Cameron
vendor.
Cedar again. It's
Oh.
KubeCon Live, Cameron. It's KubeCon Live. Yeah, there you go. He's on a call. Hey, how you doing? This is Michael. There you go. Hey, I'll catch you in a little while. We're on KubeCon Live. He's from National Marrow Donor Program. We save lives with bone marrow treatment, cancer treatments, and matching. Where are you, Mo? Let's see.
I'm outside of the vendor area, so you're gonna have to pop through those double doors.
You see him?
Oh,
So you're out there. Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
oh, that's great. That's a live. Live. This is a way how to find people
I
live.
like the scavenger
Oh,
hunt.
yeah, I see you coming out. Let me see if I can take. I'm on your right.
I have no idea. Oh, I see him. He's over here.
That's
There we
great.
go.
Mike, so we don't get feedback.
Oh, you're okay. You're okay. So,
So now you're both together.
it's a match made in heaven.
That's funny.
Awesome. So Mo, while
This is great.
Colin is
You won't be able to
joining
hear, but yeah. Can you still hear him? Because I have headphones too. Because you could just talk through this mic and listen on your thing. Yeah. You can still hear.
Oh, good. So both of our guests are now live.
Yeah.
It's a small
So
world.
Do you want to go with me to Kong?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, let's do it.
We can share the camera. This is like a total rudimentary setup, but it works. This
Yeah,
is like
well-
the container versus the VM version of a camera setup.
awesome. So
Maybe I'll just
It's like walking through the Zoom corridors.
This is not how the rest of the place looks. He managed to find the creepiest, darkest, dankest spot.
a quiet spot. That's what I was told.
Yeah,
It's quiet over there. It looks quiet. Yes.
yeah. This is a good format. I like this format.
awesome. While
have a
actually you
co-host.
both were going
Sorry.
Having a co-host is great.
Yeah, yeah. This is good. We should
So
just
we have
get all of your guests to walk around like this. Let's see.
awesome.
Oh.
While actually Mo
Oh
is joining
All the way around.
They're making us go the hard way, the long way. Yeah. Sorry. Keep talking, Sam.
Yes, I'm saying like Mo is actually did a talk yesterday. So we want to hear about what he actually presented yesterday.
So I don't hear what they're saying.
Yeah. So he said you did a talk yesterday.
Yeah.
And you presented. They want you to tell us a little bit about what your talk was about yesterday.
Yeah.
Give us some of the content.
It was the Cilium eBPF day. We actually presented live migrating our production clusters from Calico CNI to Cilium CNI. We did that over the course of last year.
Oh,
so
I need that.
It was a fun little experiment. We talked a little bit about the different ways.
Oop, I don't know what we got blocked. You can keep talking. I think they can hear.
Okay, yeah, we talked about a couple of different migration paths, and ultimately kind of what worked and what didn't work, and then we did a live demo on stage that worked. So that was good. We prayed hard.
That's awesome. It's actually like for the audience or people who are investigating Cilium. Cilium is incredible, but you have to do a little bit of rework. Usually, it sounds like not anymore. Do you want to switch from your CNI to Cilium?
We had to definitely rework our network policies to make them, fit within the Cilium objects and CRDs. But they had released a new feature. You want to take that?
Yeah, you hold it for a sec. There you go. Teamwork.
They released a new feature back in 1.13 that was called the per node configuration, which allows you to basically you can deploy Cilium and it can do nothing until you actually label the node and provide some overrides to its default values.
That's
and
amazing.
and then you're off to the races. So we used it actually for the migration, and then we also used it for rolling out the kube proxy replacement and doing these like live things that we can do to our production clusters without like impacting the whole cluster. So it was a very interesting feature, and it worked in the end. So we got production clusters in running Cilium.
Yeah,
Just
that's
one
it.
question,
That's so
Colin.
important.
Yeah.
Just a one question, Colin, for Mo. Is there what is the primary reason from moving from Calico to the Cilium?
So what is the primary reason for moving from Calico to Cilium?
Yeah, we were consolidating our ad tech stack to be fully running in Kubernetes. So it was running just on bare metal and like AWS instances. So moving to Kubernetes, we needed to maintain that latency. You need these like ad requests and bids coming in like a couple of milliseconds. So we don't want to introduce too much latency. So switching to the eBPF stack really helped. And then we also wanted to increase the developer experience, improve it a little bit. They used to have to manually match node ports and do all kinds of things to like whitelist their services. But with Cilium, we're able to just match that based on labels. So it kind of improved our overall self-service to our platform. So yeah, it worked out really well. And at the end of the day, all our new clusters are coming up with Cilium. We had some challenges because we were using Rancher as a management kind of layer between the downstream clusters, but we were able to kind of overcome that with a few configurations here and there.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I'm a Rancher user as well.
Oh, yeah. We're like, I don't know if you've used like any of the Rancher Prime or the new.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So we were like fully open source. So we were kind of freewheeling for a while. We didn't have too much support on that one. So, but it's been a good experience for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and the newest versions of Rancher have had a lot of improvement in the networking stack.
That's right.
As well.
That's
And like the Cilium support, I don't know if you're using Harvester, but it's got Cilium baked in now as well. It's really nice for hyperconverge.
Yeah, yep. So we definitely heard of that. When we created the clusters, 3 or 4 years ago, when we were in this model, we actually opted for the external managed networking. So we didn't like use the Rancher stuff at all. From a networking perspective, okay. I think it made things easier for us to be able to switch from Calico to Cilium. I don't know how it would work if you were like tied in, and one of the options was to create a brand new cluster for our tenants to use and migrate. But then it introduces a little bit of complexity for the tenants. They need to redeploy their stuff. The way that they whitelist their services will be different based on whatever cluster they're using.
And you mean in an enterprise, you can't have everything be absolutely declarative all the time? What?
Exactly. So, we want to strike that middle ground. And then, thankfully, we were able to do it with zero kind of touch points from the end users. They knew we were running a maintenance, but thankfully, they didn't know what it was going on. So, we consider that a win.
How about a question there? Yeah. How much happier is your team because of Cilium?
We're very happy now. We were kind of coming up to some limits. There was definitely some funky, network cider whitelisting that we needed to do. But now we're introducing Gateway API to the ecosystem, and I think eventually we also want to look at the service mesh that Cilium offers and see how that we can connect all our different clusters.
Mesh.
Yeah. So that's happy team.
Yeah, I like it. It's easy to turn on, by the way. So give it a try for sure. Same. What you got?
That's great, Mo. So Mo, my one final request for you might be
final request.
Me and Richard will host you in our podcast in the near future.
His final request is he'd love to host you again here in the near future.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, so I connected with Sam on the engineering platform engineering Slack channels.
Yeah.
I just kind of saw his post. I'm like, sure, yeah, I'm here.
I love it.
So, I'd be more than happy to reconnect and kind of see what happens next.
Cool.
He says, thank you. Great.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah,
it's been a blast.
Good to meet you too.
Yeah, exactly. It's good to see you. Let's connect again on the Slack channel.
All right,
yeah, I'm one of the co-chairs of the working group. So the platform group. So good to meet you. Perfect. Let's chat again soon.
All right, sounds good.
Especially about your Rancher stuff.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mom.
All right.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah. We're at Kong now.
Where is Kong?
Right here.
Okay. Can you talk to someone?
Nice. Yes. Sorry, we're with KubeCon Live.
Oh, okay.
And so you have a big audience. So I'm sorry, I don't want to put you guys on the spot. Who are we looking for?
It's Mourinho Vijay.
Mourinho Vijay.
Oh, he's not here.
Not here right now. Do we have a backup? Or let's ask them some questions anyway.
Yes, absolutely. Can you ask them what is the status of the Coma service mesh?
What is the status of the service mesh? On the spot, on the live.
I'm the product manager for service mesh.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
This is KubeCon Live.
KubeCon Live.
Yeah.
The status of it, we just released 2.9, so new mesh service. I think we gave the update on Kuma, which is the OSS CNCF project, which is based yesterday. Just released 2.9 mesh service, mesh TLS, 2.10 coming in January. Some stuff around routing. So
awesome.
Yeah, doing good.
Awesome. What's the outside of Kong? What is the one big topic, hot button item for you guys? Not AI, please. What's the one big practical technology? That's not an attack on AI. Sorry. That you're on the lookout for at KubeCon, if you had to attend one talk.
Oh man, I don't know. A lot of our customers are interested in like async API, and we're doing a lot of async
Okay.
API and Kafka and event-based driven stuff. Some of that.
Okay.
Observability is always a huge thing, especially tracing. That's
Awesome.
like edge APIs. So yeah, also
Awesome.
AI. But we were on a workshop on it yesterday. But yeah, I would guess those.
Awesome. Where's the best party for KubeCon?
The Kong Happy Hour.
Oh, there you go. So if
Nice.
anybody's watching and wants the QR code there.
Oh, nice. Okay, happy
There
hour.
you go. Yeah, I'm gonna grab one of these and pretend like.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Awesome. Any other questions, Sam?
Yes.
Richard?
Can you ask them like what is the
Yeah,
most
more
favorite
questions.
feature in the Kuma mesh from their community interaction and customer interactions?
So what is your most favorite feature from the Kuma service mesh, from the customer interaction and the contributor interaction standpoint?
Favorite feature from Kuma service mesh?
This is kind of a
Man, I don't know.
Do you have any suggestions, Sam?
I think the ease
Yes,
of setup.
I think I have
He
few of
says
them,
ease of
but I
setup.
want to hear
You'll
from
go
them
to
as well.
multi-zone, connecting multi-zone Kubernetes clusters with like basically one command to our SaaS. Yeah,
Did you hear that? Okay.
5 minutes, maybe even less.
So connecting multiple clusters to the service mesh and the ease of onboarding.
Yes, that is also
What-
my favorite one because this is a
He says that's also his
experience
favorite.
compared to the other.
Yeah.
That's great. one.
Awesome. Awesome. Any more questions? Richard, what
No, I
about you?
think
You've been quiet.
We will reserve for this. We can ask.
Oh, sorry.
We can ask to host this person. We can ask to host this person on our podcast in the near future.
Yeah, that would
So
be
they
cool.
want they want to know if you would love to, or if you would like to participate in a KubeCon live in the future and do like an exclusive interview.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Loads of us. Marina would
Oh.
definitely love to do that. We have some folks from our service mesh dev team here as well. Yeah, for sure. Just
Awesome.
get in contact.
Awesome.
Oh,
that's
So
great.
reach
Thank you.
out to them and give them a shout. Do you have a card? Or this is John Harris.
I don't.
Can you guys introduce yourselves? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, my name's John Harris. I'm the principal PM for Kong Mesh and Kubernetes. I've been here about 3.5 years. Been around in the Kubernetes community a long time.
Awesome.
I'm Damon Sorrentino. I'm a solutions guy, pre-sales SE.
Awesome.
So I've been with 5 years in Kong. And if you want to buy Kong, come talk to me.
And he's one of
Awesome.
the Kuma maintainers.
Oh, and here's a Kuma maintainer.
Live on
Oh,
All right, you're on KubeCon Live. Can you introduce yourself? And then I'm sorry you can't hear them, but I'll relay questions if they have some.
All right. Hello, I'm Christopher. I am a maintainer of Kuma, our open source service mesh. That's pretty much it.
It's a lot. Don't try to sell yourself short.
Yeah, same, Richard. What's your hardest question?
yes. Can you ask them what is the newest? What is the newest feature release or releases in the Kuma service mesh?
What is the newest release or releases in the Kuma service mesh?
We just released version 2.9.0 last week, and there's a bunch of really cool stuff. There are new policies like mesh TLS, mesh pass-through, mesh external service, and there are numerous improvements to the GUI. Kuma comes with a bundled GUI, and that's not really that common in the service mesh.
That's a huge release, though. That's a lot. That's ambitious.
Yeah. It took us way longer than 2.8, but don't tell
Yeah.
our manager.
I love it. What's the feature that makes developers the happiest?
That's a really good question. That's a hard one.
Traffic mirroring.
Traffic mirroring, yeah, that would be a good one. So basically, if you need to, you want to inspect the traffic, or you need to point the traffic to multiple directions, the same traffic, you can kind of apply a policy and have it be routed in two different directions. What else? Definitely retries.
Fault injection.
Fault injection. You can test out traffic. So, for example, you can test out if the upstream or downstream service behaves correctly when something is kind of broken, like inject faults. You inject faults and test it that way. retries definitely. So if you have like a transient networking error, that's not really something that that's app specific or something like that, then you can basically retry and the end user doesn't see that in any way. Like
Awesome.
It's completely transparent.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Same, Richard. Any more questions?
Richard, over to you.
I think for me is kind of where is all this sort of API space going? What's kind of in the future, in the near future? What kind of developments can we expect to see?
Where's the API space going? What's coming in the new future? Like, where can we see development going?
Another hard one.
Yeah.
When it comes to mesh, well, when it comes to gateway, we definitely have like AI gateways, right? When it comes to mesh,
I do too.
we definitely are still figuring out like what's the best approach for mesh, like sidecar versus sidecarless. So I feel like it's going to be a year of trying to figure out what works best for which kind of use case. And we're definitely like we have a SaaS platform for mesh, and not like this is something that not a lot of companies do. So definitely a shift to like a more SaaS approach, so you don't have to manage
Awesome.
things yourself. That everything is
That's
managed
amazing.
by us or by like in the cloud. So yeah, I think that.
Right. We say there's build versus buy, and then there's buy then build.
Yeah.
And so that's really helpful for that, right?
Oh,
that's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
All right. What do you guys think? Well, let's let these guys get back to it.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. This was amazing. I'm sure they'll reach out. All right. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Here we go.
Awesome.
They were good ones.
That's a awesome reporting, I think, from the KubeCon. Just a final request. I know you have been working for over 1 hour now. Can you spot Flux booth as well?
Yes. Yes. Now that's a toughie because I know they're in the project pavilion, but
yes.
Will they have? Is that going to be a project? Yes, that will be project. I see.
That's a project.
There's a nice wall of projects over there.
Yes, unfortunately the company is closed down. That's Weaveworks, and now the new company is Control Plane.
Yeah, that's what I wasn't sure if Control Plane had a booth or not. Let's see.
Yes,
We're walking. Let's see. I like that I'm able to ask about, what's enabling AI. And not necessarily what's your next AI tool.
Absolutely.
Colin, is it still? I heard yesterday it was snowing. Is it still snowing?
No, it's beautiful outside today. Actually, it's like it's a nice like kind of crisp in the sun, 50 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what the conversion is. I'm sorry.
Okay.
but no, it snowed. It was insane yesterday. I mean, you couldn't. You walk 10 feet and you're completely soaked. The snow, like huge snowflakes. It was unbelievable. I thought we were going to get a thunder snow. I don't know what you guys would call that, but I was excited about that.
Has all the snow melted away?
Yeah, it's gone. But one thing that's really fascinating, right, is there's a mountain range that surrounds the entire city, and so. It's really nice. The air is so clean and clear because of the snow. Let's see, I'm looking as I'm talking. We're walking and talking, and I'm trying to find Flux. All right, let's see. I thought it was FLUX. There's an FLOX. That's really confusing. There's an
FLUX.
Yeah. There's an exhibitor though that's FLOX. That's very confusing. All right, so 6A. Let's see, which one are you? But yeah, so. So this is probably the most scenic KubeCon that I've been to. In Detroit was great, and Chicago's great because of the city. Amsterdam is Amsterdam. I mean, you can't get better than Amsterdam. Then Paris is amazing, but I mean, to have that mountain range off in the distance, it looks like you're on a movie set. Like it's just fake. Wow. But yeah, it's a beautiful city. Salt Lake City has definitely. I've warmed up to it, even though it's chilly outside.
Right. Yeah, it's
Let's see, we're going.
50 Fahrenheit is 10 Celsius, by the way. So,
there you go.
Yeah, that's.
I'll take your word for it. We got Robert here too. So we're here at Flux.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Ah.
That's a great win.
Yes,
Can you,
There you go.
yes. Is there
So
anyone
let's
who can
see.
speak with us?
I hope so. I think so.
Robert.
Hi, we're here with KubeCon Live. Yeah, there you go. So we wanna chat for a minute if that's okay. Here, Robert. Here's
Robert.
KubeCon Live. You know
How are
Robert. There
you?
you go. Yeah, if you guys could just introduce yourselves. And I'm sorry, I've got the headphones in, but
So I just
they
yell
can
at
hear
you.
you just fine.
All right, so I'm just
Yeah.
yelling at
Is that why you're
Yeah.
yelling at us?
I am yelling. Yeah, I have it on the. I can hear it. I can hear myself through it.
All right.
Thankfully.
you. Hello, I'm Robert. I am the co-chair of Tag App Delivery. Used to be the chair of the platforms work group. Been in the CNCF for like for what, 4 years. I helped writing the GitOps principles, released the platforms white paper, platform maturity, engineering maturity, etc., etc. And also been talking about these things like for ages now, so I'm tired already.
It's okay. Yeah.
Do I have to follow
I
this
feel
guy?
that.
I don't want to follow this.
Oh, you absolutely have to. You have to.
My resume is not that exciting.
Well, they told me to come talk about Flux, so hopefully that makes it easier.
She knows Flux.
Yeah.
My name is Priyanka Ravi. I go by Pinky as well. I am a Flux project member. And so I don't have like as an exciting a resume, but I did help write the GitOps cert. So there's that. And so are y'all familiar with Flux? Do you want me to give like a little
Yeah.
overview?
Tell us a really quick high level, and then they're gonna ask you some hard questions.
And you're gonna have to relay them to me, I guess.
I am. Yeah.
Okay.
So even better. Thanks.
So Flux is a project it's in the GitOps realm. Are y'all familiar with GitOps?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So it is actually the project that coined the term GitOps as well. And the idea is it's a set of controllers. So it's a super microservice architecture, very lightweight. Kind of like you can just kind of change it to however you want. And at a very high level, it sits in your Kubernetes cluster and it listens to your source. So Git repo, OCI repository, S3 bucket, whatever it is.
Yep.
And it pulls in your YAMLs, your files, and then it automatically applies everything.
Got it.
And the good thing is it's running on a sync schedule. So like if you have configuration drift, if I go in and delete like deployment, it's going to stand it back up.
Yeah. And I'm going to interject with a question.
Okay.
I'm going to seed because I've been looking at it as well. So tell us about what's new with Flux.
Okay. Yeah. So what's new with Flux is controller is now GA. So that's a big deal. There's a lot of, if you go to the release notes, you can see the benchmarks, which is also really new. And we're very excited about that. They look really good. They're very fast. And then we also have sharding. So we have more scalability. I'm blanking. There's a lot of new stuff other than the sharding. But that's the biggest one actually, because it's good for production. It's you can have all these different pieces in different clusters, and so it's very scalable.
And I heard that there's renewed interest in new energy in the community. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. So we have so Control Plane is one of them, and then Microsoft is another one that's a big backer. Control Plane did hire a bunch of people from the maintainers, so they're very interested in keeping up like the Flux support, like paid support, and then enterprise stuff. And then Microsoft just recently said that they're going to be also supporting it, which is really exciting for us. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Is that what you meant?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I wanted to highlight that.
Yeah,
right?
it's very exciting.
We're in like the CI/CD wars right now, so
yeah,
we gotta
we're
talk.
really glad to have that for sure.
Yeah. How about you, Sam and Richard? Questions? Let's shoot.
Yes. Richard, can you shoot for some? And then I ask.
Yeah, I was just kind of, where is sort of the GitOps space recently? I mean, we've had some sort of turbulence sort of over the last sort of 12 months. And
There's been some turbulence in the GitOps space recently with Weaveworks.
Weaveworks kind of leading.
I did
What is GitOps? Yeah.
But I think the message that we want to drive home is that like the community still really cares about the project. We're not going anywhere. Flux is not going anywhere just because Weaveworks is gone. Like I said, there are still companies that are backing it, and there's lots of them. Yeah, we mentioned Microsoft. There's companies that do use us as well, so we're not. And there's still so many people that care about the project that are doing this type of quality time. So
Yeah. Did you guys hear that? Okay.
Yes, absolutely. We heard that. Okay. Just to ask Priyanka, because I know Priyanka for a very long time. I haven't met in
for a very long time.
Oh.
And you've never met in person.
Oh.
But just ask him how many talks she did in this KubeCon around Flux and GitOps.
How many talks did you do this KubeCon around Flux and GitOps?
Just one, and it's tomorrow. Just one tomorrow.
What time
You're
is
right. It's
yeah.
been usually if I This is a light load.
Yeah. What's the topic? What time is it and where is it?
It is so it is Flux in production. I don't know the actual title, but it's Flux in production at scale. So it's going to be talking about the sharding and the horizontal and vertical auto scaling. It's tomorrow.
Hey folks, in 5 minutes we're going to talk.
It's tomorrow. I should probably know this.
Well, we can look it up. Where do you know where it's gonna? Where it's
Yeah, it's in the Hyatt. So it's in the
Hyatt ballroom, second floor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. Can you ask? I think like.
Ask more questions.
Yes. So, Colin, one more question. Like, I think the Flux is. I know
So
Flux
is he here?
from our.
If we've never
Sorry,
Yes,
go ahead,
I know.
Sam.
I think I know Priyanka from Twitter. The posting she's done, and I've watched his
Knows
talk
you from
the
Twitter
KubeCon.
and your posting.
Oh my gosh,
and all
that's
that.
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, and also I think one thing is that I know you from also is from Stefan Pradhan as well. Stefan Pradhan is one of our
as well.
friends.
Yeah, so Stefan is at Control Plane. We're very excited that like they took on those people, and that's why I'm confident because of Stefan and Control Plane. I'm really confident about it.
High praise.
Thanks,
High
thanks.
praise.
Oh, thanks.
Really helpful. Really helpful.
Yeah, awesome. Any more questions, guys?
Yes, I think we have. I love Flux, so I have so many questions.
He loves Flux,
but
so
I
he has
know-
so many
I love
questions.
that.
Yeah.
I love
But
that.
I know they actually been working on something. But I do ask. I think I can invite Priyanka to
He
cover
wants to invite you.
for a podcast.
Yeah, so he wants to invite you to do a podcast, to do an
I
exclusive.
would love to.
Thanks,
No,
Priyanka.
that's definitely gonna.
There
Absolutely.
you go. Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you so much. It's
Yeah,
great to meet
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
Are we added on LinkedIn? Are we like connected?
Yes, absolutely. I
Okay,
think
cool.
I know
Just
you.
send me a message and we'll-
He says absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
I'm getting a speaker next time. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
very
Who
confusing.
supplied this equipment to me? It's crap. What the hell?
You're like having to relay messages.
Yeah, no, it's my fault. This was a little on the fly, but we're enjoying this. This is a lot of fun. Yeah. We're doing this
Awesome.
again, and I'm wearing a big
Is it
sign
gonna
or
be
something.
posted somewhere?
Where's this going to
So
be
that I
posted?
can hear his
This is
message?
actually his
Yeah.
live stream in YouTube. The
Right.
second
It's live on YouTube right
Okay,
now.
perfect. Then I
Yeah.
will find it and then I'll
Yeah.
hear what you say.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great.
All right, guys.
Cool. That was
Oh,
cool.
great. There are some people really appreciating you, Colin, and on the comment section. They're enjoying the content. Thank you. Oh, Linkerd, can you
Yeah.
stop here? Linkerd.
Linkerd.
We're going to
Oh,
Linkerd.
wow.
So, hey, I'm with KubeCon
Hello.
Live. You may know Sam and
Hello.
Richard and crew. I'm not sure.
Hi there.
Can you tell
Can
us
you-
about yourself, and can you tell us a little bit about Linkerd?
Sure.
And it's okay. You can plug Buoyant if you want.
Sure. I am Tom Dean. I've been with Buoyant since the beginning of the year. Linkerd is a service mesh. If you don't know what the service mesh is, it's kind of like a router you put on at home, right? Give you additional functionality on top of your network. There's no security. Linkerd has been around probably almost as long as Kubernetes, and we are a sidecar-based service mesh, which gives you a lot of granularity control over your workloads and observability. And we're very quick to stand up and get value from. And we also have a lot of features. You don't have to do it all at once. It doesn't require a lot of human overhead to manage and maintain.
Great. We use Linkerd. It's amazing.
Awesome.
There you go.
So can you ask-
They're going to ask
can
some
you ask-
questions if it's okay. I'll relay them to you.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yes, absolutely. Can you ask what is the newest feature rollout in the newest releases of the Linkerd?
What are the newest features in the newest release of Linkerd?
217 should be out any moment now. We're going to have egress. We're going to have some new federated cluster services. So with pod-to-pod cluster, flat network cluster, you have to do a lot less work to maintain it, set it up, and it's going to take cluster services like application services and abstract them from the cluster.
Amazing.
So now they're going to, basically between the pods, they'll know what things are and where they live, and you're not going to have to set that up. One thing in the past, when you've upgraded, say, Linkerd, you've had to relink clusters. You don't have to do that anymore. 218 is coming out late this year, early next year, the latest, and that will have ingress. And we're going to have some other new
Awesome.
stuff. At some point, we should have Windows external workloads, mesh expansion. We do have Linux mesh expansion now. So you can add Linux workloads into your data plane.
Awesome.
which is really cool stuff.
Awesome. Any hard questions?
Yes, I think that would be might be they see as a hard question is that where is William
Hard
Morgan?
Is it William Morgan? Is that what you're asking?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, where's William Morgan?
He's around here. He's like Waldo, right? So look for the goatee, and he's wandering around trying to find a quiet place to write some slides right now because he has a million presentations this week. So he will be back here. If you come by again, he should be here at some point.
Awesome.
He was
Richard,
here a bit ago. He
Yeah.
said he needed to go hide and write some slides.
Okay, so Colin, I had one. So
He's got one. Richard has one.
yeah, so the microservices and sort of service mesh space has sort of had a bit of a backlash recently. What's kind of
Microservices and service mesh space has had a little bit of backlash recently. Go ahead, Richard. Sorry.
Yeah. So what's kind of the latest view on that space? Is that kind of still
What's the latest view in that space?
Microservices from the perspective of having things small, or
What do you think, Richard?
Yeah, it's kind of, a lot of people saying that the service meshes are too chatty on the network, and it's
People say service mesh is too chatty on the network. Sorry, Richard, keep talking. Sorry.
Yeah, when it comes to scaling, it's kind of it's quite difficult to do and complex.
It's quite difficult to do, and it's complex.
yeah, I mean we've seen over the course of the year a lot of customers with much bigger workloads. So not everybody's running million teeny tiny workloads. A lot of our customers and users in the last 6 months that I've been working with have workloads that are really big, like 16 cores, 30, 40 gigs of RAM. So I'd say that, a lot of thoughts about, what a microservice is have changed in my mind. There's always going to be more overhead when you add additional functionality to anything, but we try to be the lightest and cleanest service mesh written in Rust. We're, purpose-built proxy, so we try not to do things we don't have to do. The great way I tell customers is, when I want to go up the street to get some money out of the ATM, I don't take my truck, I take my scooter.
Oh, yeah.
Our proxy is kind of like the scooter of proxies, right? It's built for one thing. It's not great for everything, but we try to take the minimum resources possible. Now, again, with customers, we're starting to do like AIML workloads, things that are huge, that are very, very chatty. There's no real way to get around it. We can take some of that traffic off the network. You could use things like circuit breakers so that when you see an unhealthy endpoint, the proxy knows about it. It doesn't try to talk to that anymore.
Sure.
So there's ways of mitigating some of that excessive traffic. So, but you're right. I mean, anytime you add more functionality, generally there's going to be some type of net cost. But there could be some net benefits if you employ things like HTTP routes, retries, timeouts, or circuit breaking that would prevent unnecessary traffic from getting on.
Awesome. Any other questions, guys? Or reactions?
I'm good. That was good. Thank you.
That's
You said that was great. Thank you.
Oh, thank you guys. I appreciate
Oh,
it.
awesome. So
Yeah.
that's another good news. So we have Liz Rice joining us live.
Oh, nice.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah,
Hello,
thank
Liz.
you.
Thanks for
On mute.
joining us. Now we have, so we had two virtual podcaster and one live reporter from Colin Griffin as well. So we're enjoying the
Amazing.
And I'm so sorry
Thank you very much,
for
Liz.
interrupting you, Liz. I was getting a mean mug by several folks. I felt so bad. But thank you for putting up with me.
Like daggers
good.
towards
It's all good.
Colin is like.
So
this
Liz,
guy's
just
trying
a
to
one
break
quick,
into the queue.
so Liz, just a one quick question for you. How many books you have actually signed today?
Apparently it was over 100, and I've
Oh,
got
wow.
another signing session later on, so I'm doing hand stretching exercises.
What
So I
happened
was
to the
asking,
robot? You need a robot or something to.
Somebody did suggest I could start signing with my left hand, and I think it would look like a 3-year-old had done it, really.
that's so great. That's so great.
So
So
has,
thank you
I
very
mean,
much
it's
for
so
joining.
lovely that people are interested to,
Yeah.
to read the thing. So it's really nice.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. And I think during the KubeCon, the longest queue we ever see is actually when you sign the book. So that's always been interesting to see.
Yeah, I have mine. I have mine here. I have both of mine completely signed.
You saw the line earlier. It was crazy.
Yes,
Excellent. Yeah.
absolutely. So Liz, we have, I think for the first few questions, just typically around like, what's actually the interest you have been noticing for the last 2 days? I think co-located event, the eBPF and the Cilium Day, and even today, like what is the rush towards Cilium is eBPF is actually happening today?
Yeah, I mean, I think as adoption of Kubernetes becomes kind of more and more mainstream, everybody needs networking capabilities, everybody needs network security capabilities. And, Cilium graduated, a while ago now, I think, over a year. So it's pretty much the de solution for Kubernetes networking and security. So, there are a lot of people using it, and that's really great. But we're also seeing more and more interest as people hear about what we're doing with Tetragon, using eBPF for runtime security, and the really powerful things we can do with it.
Over to you, Richard. You have some question for Liz?
Yeah, so just kind of general view, Liz, in terms of kind of how the conference has been, and kind of I was also just curious. We talk a lot, sort of, we're sort of a walled garden, sort of the vendor space and the services space. But what about sort of enterprises and customers? What if you've kind of been speaking to anybody? What's kind of been the view, just from sort of the Cilium side of things, the eBPF side of it, but also just kind of generally speaking as well?
Yeah, I think that's one of the really interesting things about the way the CNCF has been evolving. They now have the end user technical advisory board. There are, companies who are really, they want to share their experience and they want to, I guess, help influence the way that cloud native evolves. And, the enterprises are the people who have the real experiences of deploying at scale. They understand the day two issues. As vendors, and as projects, we absolutely need to, have conversations with them, understand what problems they're tackling, and figure out how we can help them. So it's really great to see those end user companies signing up and spending time to have those conversations.
Cool. And what's Isovalent been doing at KubeCon? Are you guys presenting? What's kind of the roster of stuff you guys are up to?
Yeah, we have, I think it's 17 different talks from Isovalent across KubeCon and the co-located events. We were pretty involved in organising the Cilium and eBPF day that happened yesterday. So, great to see the interest in Cilium and eBPF just, carries on. We also had a Cilium developer summit, which we helped to organise. We actually held that at Google's office here in Salt Lake City. Really great to have contributors from Microsoft, Google, CoreWeave, Datadog, and of course Isovalent. Really great constructive conversation. So I think that Cilium Developer Summit is something we're going to keep doing. It's really productive.
Cool. One other question is on from your books. What kind of feedback do you get from people who kind of read it and use it? What's kind of the general feedback that you get?
I mean, I guess nobody's ever going to say anything bad to my face. People are always super complimentary, and which is lovely. Yeah. I having just signed a bunch of books, and a few people had maybe read my container security book or something, and I mean, my ego just inflates every KubeCon week.
Brilliant. Okay, excellent. Thank you.
I think like one other thing I want to learn from the Liz as well. I think I know the journey of Liz as well, because I'm actually following you for a very long time, even though you actually been in the, I think, Aqua team way back in that time as well. So I think quite naturally the one question, because Aqua during the time of the Liz doing some incredibly good job in the cloud native security space as well, and I think continues to do so as well. So when you actually joined the Isovalent team, so what was the biggest motivation that actually end up landing you the newer company and the eBPF and all these kind of newer...
Yeah. So I had first heard about eBPF when I was doing a talk about containers at DockerCon. This is in 2017. I think it was Austin. And I was on the same track as Thomas Graf, who's the CTO of Isovalent. This is, like I say, 2017. And I remember watching his talk and thinking, well, that technology, this eBPF thing, that's really interesting. But at the time it felt pretty early. You know, you needed to be running, you know, practically compiling your own kernel to use it at that time. But I kept an eye on it. I was interested in it. We started using it a bit at Aqua. And then in 2020, during the pandemic, iSurveillance were organizing the first online eBPF summit. And they invited me to speak at that. And as part of the conversations that I had with Thomas and other folks on the team, I realized these people really, you know, they know eBPF. They have so much in-depth expertise. And, you know, I was really fascinated by the technology. I really liked, you know, the people that I was meeting, and it kind of felt like a really natural step to get more involved in iSurveillance. And at the time it was 30 something people. So yeah, it was really good to kind of join a small team, and now we're part of a much bigger team in Cisco. So it's been really quite the journey.
Yes, absolutely. And I think I noticed, I think way back in when I joined learning about containers and Kubernetes. So Liz actually did a talk on, I think, the Go conference, and he was debugging containers live. And then I'd say, oh my God, this is such a learning session for us. So I think talking to you, and I've seen you, it's been a great stuff happening as well. So I hope in the near future, I can actually grab a book as well. But I can actually wait so long in the queue because the book is quite natural to get it as well. So also, I think, Liz, I want to ask you a question around. I think that eBPF has their own conference as well, I think, and fully dedicated to that. Every time I see Cilium and eBPF, there are so many bigger vendors talking about their migration journey from something else to the Cilium and something else to the eBPF. Watching those talks and the vendor talks, how you feel about this space? Because in other technology, we see we don't have vendors who are talking about it, but this space has actually been in production and people are more coming into this space.
Yeah, and all of the major cloud providers have adopted Cilium. There are so many companies who are building really interesting tools using eBPF. I love the fact that it's such a kind of vibrant and innovative community. You know, when we do eBPF Summit, there's always some really novel and interesting talks. Like this year, somebody was talking about using eBPF in automotive. And I hadn't really thought about the fact that you probably run like software in cars and what you could do with eBPF with that. So it was, you know, there's so many interesting applications of eBPF as a platform. I think, you know, I'm not going to get bored for a while, you know.
Excellent.
Yes. So Richard, over to you now.
Yeah. So Liz, kind of what's the next step for for iSurveillance? What are you guys up to on both the Cilium and Tetragon side of things?
Yeah. So since we kind of got absorbed into Cisco, we've been very much given the remit to carry on doing what we were doing before. So we carry on doing, you know, Cilium and Tetragon open source engineering, but also, you know, continuing to sell the iSurveillance enterprise platform, which of course now we kind of have access to a whole Cisco user base as well. So that's going to be pretty exciting. We're also working on, so Cisco have a product called Hyperfield that uses the Tetragon technology. So that's kind of stretching what we're doing with Tetragon and you know, creating some new requirements for our team there. So, you know, a lot of that's going into the open source project, which is great. Yeah. So in a lot of ways, things are carrying on at the same trajectory they have been. And I think that's a really good thing. You know, our whole iSurveillance team is pretty much intact as it was, you know, before the acquisition. And that's, I think the continuity is a great thing.
And is there any, in the future, are you kind of looking to sort of integrate with anything in terms of sort of Cisco solutions? Are they kind of looking to bring some of kind of what iSurveillance has been doing into, you know, some of their sort of, you know, platforms as well?
Yeah, I think, you know, in a sort of broad strategic sense, there are loads of possible places where, you know, Cilium, iSurveillance technology makes sense to integrate into some Cisco products. and really our challenge has been more about like, how do we prioritize? We can't be spread too thin. So, our Cisco colleagues have actually been really good at like, don't try and do everything all at once, and, but, when I went to Cisco Live, it was very clear to me that there's a whole massive opportunity for people who are still, you come to KubeCon, everybody here is in the cloud. They're all Kubernetes users already, but actually there's a whole world of other, organizations that are not there yet. So, we still have a long way to go, a lot of opportunities, which is great. I think that applies to the whole, cloud native ecosystem.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
I have one question for Liz, because we know the Cilium is upstream in the cloud. So when the technology is becoming upstream, the good news is that there are so many people are using it, but also that make your life as a contributor really busy. So how you manage all these kind of stuff? So what is the
Yeah,
power behind it?
it's something that I think open source maintainers really have to, be quite deliberate about how they prioritize what they do, how they organize what they do. Open source projects don't come with any guarantees, right? And I had a conversation not long ago with somebody who was a maintainer on another CNCF project, and who was talking about how, it's really hard because he was spending his weekend working on like a problem or fixing a problem for a major bank who needed a fix urgently because they're using his project in production. And I'm like, are they paying you money? And like, this is an organization who have a lot of money and who are relying on your project. That's the signal. You don't have to work for free. And I think in an open source project, you want to kind of learn from users. You want to be open to fixes and suggestions that come from the community. It's one of the incredible things about open source. But you're not beholden to, you don't have a support contract with anybody who is using your open source project. So, you have to kindly let them know that, their input is valued, but they don't get, nobody has to do anything for free.
Yes, absolutely. So I switch over to our Colin, is our third guest for today, who is actually joining us live. So Colin, do you have any good questions for our Liz as well?
Absolutely. Easy ones. My common ones have been, Liz, what's the most kind of hot button item other than AI? That's a theme for me, I guess, right? What's if you could attend one talk, because I know you're busy. If you could attend one talk, what would it be?
Oh, that's a really great question, because the whole way track is always like my priority. You can always watch the talks later on YouTube, but you can't catch up with people in person later offline. I think that's a really difficult question. I actually attended workload identity talk yesterday, and it does make me think that the whole, particularly sort of day two operational problems of how you really keep track of identities, whether they're workloads or humans, is there's still work to be done in that area. Obviously AI is, I think we had a theme of AI talks this morning. Scale. I really enjoyed hearing about CERN, and CERN are long-time Kubernetes users who have pushed so many projects and technologies. The scaling that they reach is great.
We asked a question. There was a panel talk earlier that we did with the Cartographos group, the Cloud Native Maturity Model folks. And, somebody posed a question during that talk, and we're talking about organizational maturity and the ability to develop and things there. And one of the questions was, at our companies that are at higher levels of cloud native maturity, are they more or less prepared for artificial intelligence? And I'm breaking my rule of talking about AI, but do you feel like customers of Isovalent are more? Is it fair to say they're more prepared for AI workloads than others?
So I guess one relevant sort of fact that we're seeing is that AI workloads are certainly, the scale that they need is enormous, and we've certainly seen that pushing scale requirements in Cilium. Yeah, and I expect that there are many other projects who would say the same thing. You know, and the whether or not they're going to use those, you know, what the outcome of all those workloads is going to be, I don't know. I'm you know, but the sort of infrastructure that's underpinning making this stuff possible, you know, that's really interesting to me because it is driving innovation. It's driving new uses of hardware. It's driving all sorts of interesting and novel scale problems.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we look at AI as kind of a pillar or a beachhead or a thing that we're looking towards and trying to enable for, and that platform engineering story seems even stronger this year because of that, because there maybe somebody's tried or dabbled and they need to work backwards. And what you said about the, you know, the things that you get you there, the infrastructure, the tools, everything underlying just to be able to manage or use AI effectively, I think that really resonates. Right? I like that it's bringing the attention back to, you know, there's work that still needs to be done. You can't just sprinkle some AI magical applesauce, you know, on your dessert.
Yeah, yeah, very true.
Yes, and I think one question for the Liz, and I hand it back to the Richard as well. So, what are the duties in a Savolent booth when Liz Rice is in there?
So we have. We don't have a booth talk going on right now, but we do have an area where we're having, you know, various members of the team giving some really interesting talks. I could try and turn this around and take you on a little tour, maybe.
Yeah, please do.
See if that works. So yeah, so this is one side of our booth where we can see, yeah, people having a chat. We have a bee, obviously. Jeff is our bee.
Cool.
And then we have this little theatre area. Well, as I say, there isn't a talk going on right now, but
oh, that's
the next talk. Oh, it's changing. There we go. We're going to have a talk later about Cilium Mesh, for example.
Awesome.
And then we also have an area where people can sign up and take labs. So there we go. There's somebody doing a lab right now. So we have all these kind of online labs for people to try out different features of Cilium and features of our surveillance platform. And yeah, there's a nice learning journey that people can take. And
yes, we were previously saying the booth is very, very, very wonderful and looks very incredibly dilapidated as well. And I thought Colin has also been there once again. It's great job.
I was going to say, I think
Colin's talking at the back there.
Oh, that's great. So Colin is actually helping us.
Is that me? Yeah, that's me. We can film each other. There we go. Oh no, I'm facing the wrong way now. There we go.
Oh, that's
that round. There we go. Filming each other.
That's great. That's great. So I think Colin is a very great person. We think about this idea of doing the live stream because sometimes the folks are not there and we're removing our frustration of not being there. So Colin is absolutely incredible, helping us out, guiding us and navigating through as well. But next KubeCon is on London, where Richard is, and Richard is our host for next KubeCon. So Richard, talk us about what is actually we can expect from the KubeCon London as well.
Yeah, yes. I mean, I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully, Liz, you and I can sort something out, and we can do some panel or sort of fireside chat or something like that. So we'll see what we can do with that. It'll be really cool. I think we need to have a conversation as soon as KubeCon is finished and get on.
That CFP
unfortunately, I have to interrupt you, but we have a question for you. Exactly. Sorry, guys, to interrupt you, but we have a question for you. The Vijay Kumar is saying, how do you see the role of eBPF shaping the future of Kubernetes networking and security, and what should developer focus on to maximize its potential?
Yeah, so for networking and security and other kinds of infrastructure tooling, eBPF is super powerful because of its ability to sit in the kernel and affect or observe all of the workloads that are running on that machine. So containers, however many containers you have on a given machine, they're all sharing this one kernel. So it allows us to do really powerful things that can apply to all of the applications at once, and we can change things dynamically. I think also important to say that for networking, we can use eBPF to like improve performance, to optimize the way that packets flow to and from containers. And this is where some of the kernel expertise that we have in our team comes, it becomes so valuable, because so Daniel Borkman in our team is one of the eBPF maintainers. He's been putting some really interesting improvements into eBPF, but particularly for networking, to essentially eliminate the networking overhead of containers. So traditionally you have like a virtual connection between containers and their host. But because of a lot of the work that Daniel and others have been doing, that connection is still there, but it doesn't add to the latency. He's been able to really eliminate that networking overhead, which was up until now considered as like, well, that's just the cost of using containers. So I'm really just saying that I think eBPF is really enabling Kubernetes to fulfill some of these scale requirements and the performance requirements that we were just talking about AI. There was a second part of the question that I've forgotten.
Yes, absolutely. I think the next part of the question is, what should developer focus on to maximize its potential?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question, and quite, I would say it kind of depends on what sort of developer you are. So if you're interested in getting involved in the nuts and bolts of the eBPF, there are probably some really, there will be lots of interesting ideas and innovations that will be built using eBPF as a platform. But if you're an application developer, you shouldn't need to worry about that. I am talking about things happening in the kernel, and that shouldn't be something that application developers need to worry about. They might be interested in it sort of because it's technically interesting, but they should be able to use and can use all these much more mature products and projects that are built on top of eBPF that can make their networking more efficient, make their security, better, improve their security posture. So yeah, it depends what kind of developer you are.
Yes, absolutely. Just on the sprinkling of this question is that we know the Cilium has this service mesh as well. So I want to know, what is the actually real world usage, how many customers are using it, and what are the newest feature recently land, and what are the newest area the team is working on?
Yeah, so I mean, because Cilium is open source, we don't actually know, unless people tell us, we don't always know whether people are using it, let alone exactly which features they're using. We do get, additional information from isolated customers or from people who are perhaps, if they're coming into an issue, they'll obviously be reporting what features they're using. But, if you ask me how many people are using Cilium Service Mesh, I can't tell you because they don't necessarily tell us.
Yes,
but yeah, I mean, it certainly is being used by customers in production. I would say in terms of we've just released or just sort of announced Isovalent Platform 1.16, where there's a ton of performance improvements, a ton of operational improvements. There's a pretty long list. I refer people to the Isovalent blog to check out all the details. But yeah, we continue to work on scale, work on features that customers are interested in. I would say connecting between cloud native workloads and what we might call legacy workloads or VM workloads is a huge area of interest right now. Yeah.
Awesome. And there's a one comment saying, and we all be actually saying, and we all have the same thoughts for Liz. Thank you, Liz. Vijay Kumar is saying, thank you, Liz, and the entire team for your incredible contribution to the cloud native community.
Kind. Thank you, Vijay.
Over to you, Richard.
Yeah, so sticking with the sort of the service mesh, are we kind of in that sort of area now where we're seeing the sidecar and the sidecar less sort of, being kind of fitting, depending on the sort of the application. Is that kind of where we are with that sort of architecture? Is that the current thinking?
So I mean, Istio have ambient mesh, which is also sidecarless. So, even other service meshes have embraced this idea that, maybe sidecars isn't the best model for all situations. Now, if you talk to the Linkerd folks, they still use the sidecar model, and I believe they're, very successful with that. So, I think it's their focus is really on easy to use service mesh, that doesn't have all the bells and whistles and customization. So, that may be, I never believe that there is one hammer that is correct for every nail. But I do think the sidecarless approach has, been validated by the fact that ambient mesh also now exists. And we're certainly seeing, it's much more efficient from a resource perspective, or can be, obviously depends on the situation, but it can be much more resource efficient, can be much more performance. In our approach, we don't have to send everything, in a proxy model, or sidecar proxy model, you have to pass every single packet through the proxy, whereas in our model, you only have to pass packets if you're terminating a layer 7 connection. So there are a lot of benefits, I would say, to the sidecarless approach.
Yeah, I mean, I think architecturally, it's much more efficient, isn't it? And also, I guess people are kind of looking at cloud costs quite a lot these days. So if you're kind of having to spend more in terms of cloud resources to do those sidecars and what have you, that's all kind of adds up, especially if you're going to scale that sort of environment, right? So that makes sense. What's kind of the view then on, I mean, eBPF generally speaking is, seems to kind of has a finger in all the pies, so to speak. It has lots of kind of capability there. Are we seeing, and I could be wrong, this could already be out there somewhere, but are we going to see solutions that will sort of, make use of all of those capabilities that eBPF provides, like a sort of an all-seeing sort of observability platform?
Oh, I mean, I suppose one of the benefits of eBPF is its ability to be kind of bespoke for each individual deployment, each individual environment, each individual use case. So I guess I don't really think there will ever be one, like I was saying before, I don't believe in one hammer for every nail. I'm not sure there is like a future where there is one. I mean, I guess maybe a lot of people would say the Linux kernel is a sort of universal solution to a problem. But I think when we start talking about what you might want to observe, what you might want to secure, it's going to be environmentally specific. And, I think that's the interesting thing about eBPF. People who have, tracing or profiling or, application monitoring requirements, they can find all these solutions built on eBPF. Yeah, it's able to be used for so many different tooling approaches.
Oh, great. So I think, Liz, before I leave you off, I think I need to know, like, you have attended so many KubeCon. And if I want you to pick one of them from even NA and from EU, so which one is your favorite?
So I would have to say Copenhagen, because it was the first one that I got to stand on the keynote stage, and it was a game changer for my career, really. And it was certainly, it gives you the opportunity to meet so many amazing people. And I have very fond memories of Copenhagen. I have very fond memories of most of these KubeCons, to be honest, but that one does stand out.
Fantastic.
Awesome. So our ground reporter, Colin, is, I think, have to rush into the new meeting, but thank you very much for Colin is late for us for our 1 hour and 30 minutes. So he's actually
Wow.
been
That's
done
awesome.
so many things.
I want to do this again, so thank you guys so much, and thanks, Liz,
Come
for
back
being a good
tomorrow,
sport.
Colin.
I see you again up front. Yeah. Talk to you later,
Yes, thank
guys.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Colin. Appreciate
Have a killer day.
Thank you.
See y'all.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Yeah, I think I probably need to drop as well because
Yeah.
the space is
Well,
going to
thank
be
you very
needed.
much,
So,
Liz.
Thank you, Liz, for your time.
thanks for
Good to
having
see
me.
you.
All right.
Safe trip back.
Bye.
Take care. Fantastic. All right. That was really good.
Oh, awesome. I think a tons of credit to the Colin, because I think
Yes.
Colin changed the equation of everything that our viewers want to see, the fully on experience of KubeCon.
Yes.
I think he's in the very right place with all the KubeCon booth as well. So I think I will ping again Colin, and hopefully we can go into some other booth as well, particularly Palumi, OpenTafu, and Backstage. I forget to ask to give into the Backstage, because Backstage is a big thing. So I forget to ask, but hopefully, but I think the Colin is also very prepared.
I think if Aviatrix is there, I'll be interested in maybe talking to them, because they're doing some. I mean, I've kind of followed them for some time, and they're in that what I would call a sort of sort of cloud network management sort of space. So we've lots of people talk about sort of cloud data management and so on, but cloud network management, managing your network in the cloud and kind of having visibility of that, having observability over that, is very important. And I think Aviatrix do I think a great job of that. From that perspective.
Absolutely.
So if they're there, we'll have a go. And then also, I want to kind of see if Portworx, what's happening with Portworx. Maybe have a chat with Portworx, get an update from Portworx. That'd be really cool. Again, another favorite of mine as well.
They are the number one in the storage space in the Kubernetes.
Absolutely.
I think that without doubt.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think what I do have on my list is that Portworx, Backstage, Palumi, OpenTafu. These are the four things.
OpenTafu, definitely. I think I want to get their view on
OpenTelemetry as well. Absolutely. So I hope Colin will join us again tomorrow. But it's been a great experience so far. I think the last 2 days is going to be very eventful for our audience as well, because we're giving them a real experience of how things happening in the KubeCon as well.
Absolutely.
So hope they have enjoyed this one. But we have to stop, unfortunately, for this live stream, because it's always new day for me, and it's always good night for the Richard as well. I hope you enjoyed the conversation all, and as much as I and Richard enjoyed, you actually enjoyed it as well. So another day coming up tomorrow, and feel free to connect with us on the LinkedIn and other places as well, and do watch out for tomorrow. We will be joining us again at 1 p.m. MST. With that, have a wonderful day, everyone, and we will be meeting again on tomorrow.